Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love it. My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Blue. Our sports update deliverer. The Coop.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nest.
Good afternoon, everybody. It sounded like a rock star. Right,
You are a rock star.
You know it. What is happening? I just went and opened the fridge to get my water, and it looked like somebody was shot.
'Twas not I.
The hot sauce is spilt. Everybody, I hope you're having a great Thursday. Myself, I am always good. You know that. Matt, I think you're having a good Thursday. I know Coob is. He's a hard guy to get down. Welcome to the Reid Wilkins Show with me, Jay Milne. Reid is
I'm
not
not me.
there. That's not
Or
Reid.
I'm not Reid. I'm not me. I am me.
You
but
are
I'm not
you.
Reid.
You're just not Reid.
Yes.
Reid is off the rest of this week. He will be back on Monday, and we can't wait. Right, Matt? You're going to be a busy boy here over the, next couple weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Well, 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Because I'm doing this show with you for these 3 days.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm doing a bunch of shows with Hernan. And then there's one show at the end of next week, which is Coob and I. And then the week after, it's Gager and I in the afternoons as well.
You can listen to us on YouTube. If you are on YouTube watching, please hit the thumbs up. I was complacent yesterday. Is that the right word? I wasn't asking enough for the thumbs because, and you know, truth be told, we didn't have all the ammunition, Matthew, like we do now to get the thumbs.
Is that my cue?
That's your cue.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Coob from the top shelf. I like it.
I'm not doing a word. I'm supposed to give you the word of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it to you unless we get the 130. Like
130.
We do it legit today. We
We're
didn't do it
doing
legit yesterday.
legit. We can get
I'm
there.
disappointed by that.
It's
yesterday.
an Oilers game day. The Oil Kings won last night. The Jays are 5-2 atop the AL East. Matty.
I'm a Yankee fan.
For those that choose to love Ovechkin, he's only 3 goals away. And Saturday, April 5th is National Hockey Card Day. How can you be in a bad mood? Hammer those thumbs up. Let's get things going. You can also listen to us on the iHeartRadio and TuneIn app or at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can follow Reid at Reid Wilkins. You can follow me at Jason Milne. And Matthew, where can you follow you?
Twitter at Matthew Iwanyk.
At Matthew Iwanyk.
IWANYK.
Coob, what do you got for follows? What's your Twitter and what's your Instagram?
It's both the same. Zachary HMK. ZACHARY HMK.
Right on. You heard it there first. You are listening to us from the beautiful Canadian Brewhouse studio where they would like to make beer cheap again. Well, they're not. They don't like to. They are. They are making beer cheap again at the Canadian Brewhouse. Molson Canadian Steins for just $4.50. That's 25% off. Monday to Friday till 7 p.m. Round up your crew and stop by the Canadian Brewhouse. Matt, how's your day going?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Okay.
Today's a good day. I don't know. I hope so. I think so. You and I prepped together.
We did.
We sat in a room together for a bit.
Yeah, we
I find it weird when
Why?
I'm not in my... Because I like my office.
Yeah, you're a recluse.
I do like my office.
You are. Yeah,
I can
that's
get
fair.
other things done. I feel like I've neglected a few other things. But I want to be around you.
Thank
Well,
you.
you wanted me around you, actually. That's the truth
I
be told.
prefer
It
to
wasn't
be
the other way
around somebody. Yes, I do. The Oilers are in San Jose. We're going to break all of that down. Wayne from Wayne's Sports Cards is going to be sitting right in this seat. He's going to join us from 3:20 to 4. we're going to talk about hockey cards. So if you are a hockey card aficionado, if you don't know anything about hockey cards, but you do want to send in some questions, go ahead. Please feel free to send them in. Start sending them in now. Maddie's monitoring the River Cree inbox. The afternoon inbox is presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. So we're going to talk to Wayne for a bit. We're going to get into the Oilers. We're going to dive into that. Tom Gazzola is going to join us later in the show. And we've got some interesting discussions that are going to be happening today. Obviously, we're going to talk a bit about Ovechkin and when that record is going to fall, and what the new benchmark is going to be, and maybe if some more current players could touch that. But first, and this is a good one. I was talking to Brendan earlier. Brendan's he's an intern. No,
we haven't given him a full name. He's an intern. Yeah,
he's an intern.
Practicum.
Okay,
he's an intern.
So Brendan and I were talking earlier about the off-topic topic, and I said when I was not knowing yet that I was going to be here as my next career, I was kind of stuck in limbo. And my wife and I would always talk about fun things or fun ideas that I could do for my next job. And one of the things that I always came back to was that because I love to cook. I really do. And I'd like to have a food truck. That would have been like a dream. Just drive around and go do food truck things. So the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry experience and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. Today's off-topic topic. If you could open a food truck, what would you call? What would it be called? Okay, and what is your specialty? What are you cooking in this food truck? Because I had it nailed down. My food truck, it's called Just Wing It. That's it. Just wing it.
Bunch of salads.
No.
Oh.
No. Heavy focus on the wing. We're going all wings all the time. So I'm going to have wings on the go and good quality wings, not the
end of the bag.
Yeah,
thing.
Not super large and you wonder what these are off of, or super small and the bones break in your... I mean, quality grade chicken wings. And I was thinking about it earlier. I would like to offer... I wouldn't like to offer like 50 flavors or something. I think that's over the top.
10 to 12.
I think 10 to 12, and you could mix.
Oh, so I want 5 dill pickle.
No.
I want 2.
No. Nope. You can mix hot and teriyaki. So hotiyaki. You can mix hot and honey.
Oh.
You can mix...
So you're putting
dill,
2 together.
Dill and hot mustard. Yes. You can combine flavors. That's what I was talking about. So that's my food truck idea. I think at the core...
But you're not going to do boneless.
No, God, no. Those aren't chicken wings. Those are chicken nuggets. Get out of here. Come on, Matthew.
Right,
don't do
but
this.
okay, I'm at K-Days and I see Just Wing It.
Just
I go up
wing
to
it.
Just Wing It. Do you know, I'm going to need all these napkins. Boneless, I could just take a fork and I could eat it.
I don't care about what you do. Are there birds in here?
I think Zach's playing with some stuff over there, audio. You hate birds.
I hate birds.
I can see that right there. You're like, you don't want a bird in here.
No, I mean...
I'm just saying, as a clientele, people might sit there and be like, you want to know something? Like, I'd love to eat this, but it might be a little too messy for me.
No, so what? I mean,
so you give me the
want
boneless. Wings. It's one finger. Even if I don't use a fork, I could use one and just dump them into my mouth and then wipe it after.
When you want wings, you want wings.
I just think you're missing out on some client. You're being a little snobby with it.
No, I don't. That's the beauty of it. If you don't like it, go to the next food truck, bruh.
You're being very snobby.
And I would have 2 dip. You could choose from ranch or blue cheese, and not too aggressive. on the blue cheese side. Just a
I
nice
love blue cheese.
basic blue cheese sauce. You have a food truck idea, Matthew.
Josh actually has already messaged in. You could buy mine, Jay.
Oh, Josh has a food truck.
Well, he's Coast Lunchbox.
Ah,
They were at Birch and Bear, Josh.
yes. My
he
my
sent a
daughter's
picture of his.
nemesis on the basketball court.
They were at REST Golf Classic.
That's
this
right.
past year.
They had the tacos, right?
Yeah, that some
Oh
people
my
kept telling me it was
God.
fish, and then I went up to Josh. I'm like, hey, people tell me this fish taco was great. He's like, it wasn't fish, it was chicken. People loved it though. It was the talk of the tournament afterwards on that. Nacho average truck
Nacho average truck. Yes.
doing nachos. Have
Hit
the
me.
toppings. We'll like load it up for you in the spot. Throw it in the oven to melt that cheese for you. There you go.
But see, then your whole idea about the messiness of it is thrown out the window. You're doing the same thing.
No, it's one
You're just
finger.
as messy.
It's one finger. But
I
wings,
know,
you might
but
do
then,
two fingers.
then you got
And then both of them.
you got the pico de gallo, you got the guac, you got everything on there. It's gonna be all over your shirt.
Yeah,
You
sure.
got sour cream, salsa. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I'm okay with it. We're in the same boat. We're brothers in arms in
Mm-hmm.
this debate.
But it's sometimes you just want some nachos. Like today, we got poor man's nachos
Yeah,
in a sense. You brought some chips and dip or chips and salsa.
chips and salsa.
Like,
That's all
sometimes
you
that's-
need.
But and hey, you can just get that or something. But who doesn't? Sometimes nachos are just fantastic. And then you go. It's always you just get the chips and you get that cheese sauce, which is a good cheese sauce, but you just get the button and it just pours out of.
Oh,
This
you
one
get
will
the
melt.
liquid.
No, this
You
one.
get real cheese.
I'm saying, but that's all you get for the options. Here, it's like we'll put some real cheese on.
Well,
it,
I think
melt
for
it
you, you could have
all sorts of different
you
cheeses
could
to
have
choose from.
nachos from around the world.
Well, but you pick the toppings you want to throw on this one.
Could have the Italia. Could have the Canadian.
Yeah.
Kind of like poutine does, but just on nachos,
And nacho average truck.
right?
Because we're not your average truck.
I like it.
Thank you.
Hernan was going. We talked earlier about this. He was going to have a hot dog truck.
That's a good one.
Hot dogs around the world.
Well, and with that, like, what is one of the famous food carts that you can get? The hot dog.
Yeah.
Big deal in New York and other parts of like East Coast. That'd be a good one. Because then you could gourmet the hell out of it up.
It is game day here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. So that means this is interesting because it's the Hudson's Mystery Athlete of the day of the game, and we were talking earlier. So the winner, you can have up to 3 guesses into the inbox. We have the Mex Bezozu rule. You cannot win if you've won in the last 2 weeks, 14 days. So it's the honor system. So everybody seems to abide by it. 3 guesses into the River Cree inbox. And Maddie has come up with the mystery athlete.
Again, presented by Hudson's. Canada's Pub, you're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. Join us Friday, Saturdays from 9 till for our late night happy hour special. Food starting at $4, drinks at $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. I've got the mystery athlete player. I've got my 5 clues. Came very easy to me today. And look, I'm just going to start by saying this. I'm not Reid Wilkins. I am not Reid Wilkins.
You're a shadow of Reid Wilkins.
I'm not going to try to be Reid Wilkins.
What's that
I'm my
mean?
own person when it comes to the mystery player. I want you to go to Hudson's. That's all I'm going to say.
What's that mean, though? You're not.
That's all I'm
Reid
going to say.
Wilkins.
That's all I'm going to say. So I'm doing the first clue.
Giver.
Burnaby.
Burnaby.
What are the rules again?
3
3 guesses total.
3
Can't have
guesses
one in the
total.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So
Burnaby.
we've got some good feedback from the off-topic topic for William Huff. Castor 1990. My food truck would serve Vietnamese soup or pho. It would be called What the Pho. He would also have a barbecue duck truck called What the Duck. I like that. Matt Hyman, a chili truck, sans beans.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
You've got your first customer right over here.
Grant Morgenstein, a chili truck called the Gas Station. I like that. I like that. That's pretty creative. Keep sending them in on the River Cree inbox.
Mike, the Michigan fan, my food truck would be brisket and ribs. Specialty menu item would be brisket pillows. I think that was the cream cheese that he did.
No.
Is that not what that was called?
I think it's like brisket burnt ends or something.
Mm.
VR Montenegro. Eat all birds, specializing in what's orlaton? Am I getting hen weighed?
What's hen weighed?
The listeners try to trick us.
Oh.
They're quite successful at it. Duck confit and super other
I
bougie
like duck
bird
confit.
dishes. Never had it. Big Uke. I mean, this is so on brand. The Big Ukrainian. The Big Ukrainian. Come on. Classic Ukrainian food. You say the first word
Pirohe.
because I'm going to screw it up.
Pirohe. It's pierogies, but you actually should call it pirohe. Pirohe, naleśniki, holopsi, meatballs, and studenets.
I'm going to Ukes. I like Ukrainian food. Koob, if you could have a food truck, what would be your dish?
Kubasa, maybe some coleslaw and, some German-based kind of sausages and stuff like that. I don't know, some Wiener Schnitzel or something. Or just Koob's Koob. Kubasa, right?
Koob's tube? I like it.
Koob's Koob.
Koob's what?
Koob's Koob.
Koob. Not Koob's tube.
No.
Koob's Koob.
Okay,
We're just going to leave that one.
That would be a little bit offensive. Okay, we are going to get after it here. We've got Wayne from Wayne Sports Cards. He is in the house, folks. It is National Hockey Card Day on Saturday, and there's lots of exciting things going on over at Wayne Sports Cards. And a lot of questions we have for Wayne, just in general about sports cards. So we're going to get to all that and a lot more. We're going to set up the Oilers games. We're going to talk about Ovi. We're going to have to talk about the Jays. They're winning. They're winning the World Series, last I checked.
It's no respect to the Lakers.
I will talk about your Lakers too, okay?
No respect to the Lakers. It's unacceptable.
It's time for the Tube's Koob. Koob's Tube to talk. Go ahead, Koob.
The Oilers have 3 more games on the road. They're in Cali. Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch saying that Matthias Ekholm and Stuart Skinner or John Klingberg will not join them on the trip. Calvin Pickard starts for Edmonton as they play the Sharks. They look for 4 straight wins, the Oilers, and you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show at 7:30, only on EST. In the NFL, Trey McBride has signed a 4-year deal with the Cardinals, worth $76 million to stay in Arizona. And in Las Vegas, former Seahawk Geno Smith has signed a 2-year deal worth over $65 million, guaranteed $85 million is available. Around the NHL, we see the Kings and Hockey Club facing off. Ducks battling the Flames while the Sens meet the Lightning on a 9-game slate. And just one WHL playoff game. Chiefs leading the Giants entering Game 4. They're up 2-1 in the series. And on the court, the Raptors play the Trailblazers, Magic battle the Wizards, and the Warriors and Lakers have a date with 6 games on tap. Right now in baseball, just 1 game live at the midway point through the 4th inning. Astros up 4-2 on the Twins. Wayne Wagner joins the boys in studio. On the other side of the break, I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Wayne Gretzky, who was the greatest goal scorer of all time, is going to be passed by somebody else. You stop that game, the team comes on the ice. I wouldn't even be surprised if the other team all sort of give him a high five or a quick handshake, and then you go from there. But I don't think he just scores the goal and goes back to the bench and they talk about it after the game. I think the NHL will be missing out on a monumental moment that many of us thought would never happen.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Make beer cheap again at the Canadian Brewhouse. Grab an ice-cold Molson Canadian Stein for just $4.50. That's 25% off. Monday to Friday, open until 7 p.m. Why wait? Grab your crew and make the most of this awesome deal while it lasts.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Love is in the air.
I love you.
And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. Reid is not in here for the rest of the week, but he will be back Monday. Oilers taking on the Sharks tonight. We were just talking about it. It is confirmed that Calvin Pickard will get the start. But there is some belief that Olivier Rodrigue would draw in at some point during this road trip. Most signs would point to that being Monday against Anaheim. This Saturday, April 5th, is National Hockey Card Day. So we wanted to talk about it. And who better to come into studio and talk about that than the legendary Wayne Wagner from Wayne Sports Cards. Round of clicks for Wayne.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Now,
Appreciate it.
if you have been to Wayne's store, if you know Wayne and you know what he brings, I want everybody to hammer those thumbs up. I was complacent yesterday, like I said, and we didn't have the tunes.
Click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
Wayne doesn't have headphones in, but I really wish he did for that because our good friend Reid Wilkins laid down a real good track for clicking of thumbs. They were sitting here wondering what are these two jackasses doing? Okay, National Hockey Card Day. Wayne, when did this... Oh,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You brought in some packs. These are from last year's National Hockey Card Day. What is it?
So it's huge. It started, I believe the first year was 2009 for the official Upper Deck National Hockey Card Day. We had years in the past where it was actually considered a national collecting day, where it was every company getting together and kind of doing one day. You can imagine 4 companies trying to work together to put together a special day. You're going to have a difference of opinions. Let's just say that ended very quickly. So we have Upper Deck taking it over, I believe, in 2009, and it just keeps gaining momentum. It's been better and better every single year, and it's really simple. It's a special set of cards that Upper Deck puts out for the day. It started out with a 15-card set and a bonus card, and we've now advanced to a 30-card set and 1 bonus card. And in the past, it's been just a base set with that bonus card, no autographs, no inserts, to where we're at now, where you can actually pull autographs, mascot cards, insert cards, parallel cards, and then try to build your 30-card set with a bonus. So it's become big.
So if I'm reading correctly, you were one of the stores that was listed on the Upper Deck site that if somebody came into the store that day, they could get a pack of these cards or the 2025 version for free?
Yep. Absolutely. Wow. So it works, again, pretty simple. Just by walking into the store, you get a free pack of cards. Yep. It's that easy. Then Upper Deck has on their literature, all their advertising, that if you make a $10 purchase, you get the bonus card. And we kind of take a spin on ourselves, and we do it a little bit differently. So what we do is we ask for a $20 purchase. We are going to give you 5 more packs for free.
Nice.
And the bonus 31st card, so you can actually complete your set. And we have guys in the store trading to help people out. That day is also big for us. We do our annual balloon pop. which is crazy. Literally, when you walk in the store, there's a wall of balloons, and for a purchase amount, you get to pop a balloon. Every balloon has a prize in it. And we do a bunch of other stuff. We do door prizes. We do giveaways. So there's a ton of stuff happening, and I think that's why we get the lines we do. Last year, the lineup started at 2:45 in the morning. Now, I don't expect people to be in line that early. Those guys wanted to be there and say they were first. It's usually around 7 o'clock that it really gets going. And by 11 o'clock last year, we had over 300 people in line.
To be first, what do you get out of that? Like what's like first in line for the tickets, you're getting your floor seats, you're getting front row. National Hockey Card Day, for those people, what are they getting if they were first?
So we do door prizes.
Yeah.
We do door prizes. So there's 150 door prizes, and we do stage them where the first 50 get a better prize than the second 50, better prize than the third grouping. We've never done it in the past where the first person in line gets really, we don't want to encourage people camping out overnight. But we might have something in store this year for.
There's a 24-hour McDonald's there, isn't there?
Is.
I mean,
yeah,
you can be fed and watered. You're good.
Absolutely.
It's camping.
It's camping.
There's not enough campouts these days. I was too young for the stand in line for tickets and stuff like that.
So Wayne, you brought in some cards, and I cracked one here, and I see that I've got a Wayne Gretzky card.
Oh, you got a Wayne?
Yeah.
I got a
Leon Draisaitl, Mark Messier. So in the back card, you will not be able to see this on camera, but this 31 card set, everything's laid out in detail as to what cards would make that up. What would be, obviously people are gunning to get the set, right? And we talked about this last time you were on, but the slightest little, misprint or off center here can totally affect the retail value or the aftermarket value. Is there a value to having this set? And are people buying and selling those sets for what is National Hockey Card Day, where you're getting these cards, your first pack for free?
Yes. There's a value to everything.
Sure.
And I say that all the time, regardless of the shape of the card. We've had cards come in the shop, whether it's National Hockey Card Day or older stuff, even going back to the 30s and 40s and 50s and all that kind of stuff, where cards look mangled. But there's a value to everything. So to answer your question on National Hockey Card Day, yeah. There's definitely a value to doing it. Usually the bonus card is what everybody's after. Last year it was Connor Bedard. This year we know that it's going to be Celebrini.
Oh, wow.
So there is a bonus to having the big 31st card, no question.
So that was what you brought in here was, look at Coob going, look at that.
Oh, he's connecting it
Coob,
by his
bonus
phone.
Round. Wow,
did you end up doing that with Reid that one day? Yeah, okay.
Good for
you.
you.
The extra camera there.
Okay, I got some questions for you.
Fire away.
I got to get to the bottom of this. I love hockey cards, trading cards. I mean, it's more so a part of my childhood, but I've still done it to this day. I just find it interesting. Now, I was looking on your website. Synergy, Allure, Upper Deck Artifacts, Upper Deck Star Rookie, Upper Deck Black Diamond, MVP, OPG. What's with all the different cards? I mean, and because obviously, and which one would you say would be the Cadillac of those that I just named there?
So that we always talk about this. I know every time I come on and talk to you guys, we always go on these, kind of wild tangents on different areas of the collecting. And every single time we talk about different things, I could go on for hours. The question you just asked, back in the day when there was card collecting, I'm actually still surprised that we as kids wanted to collect and why we wanted to collect. And what I mean by that, there was only ever one set. You had O-Pee-Chee and you had Topps in the United States. And it came out, it was a simple either 264 or 396 card set. You bought your packs, you built your set, you were done in a week or two, or depending on what your allowance would provide you.
Yeah.
And then you had to wait for another full year. Why did we continue to collect? If you had to wait every time for something for a year, you'd wonder why you wanted to continue collecting cards. So it always shocked me. I was glad that I did as a kid, and I'm glad other people did as well. Nowadays, there's more sets to keep people engaged and keep people entertained, and different levels. So, obviously I mentioned O-Pee-Chee, there's MVP, there's Upper Deck Series 1 and 2. You mentioned Allure and Artifacts. There's all these different brands and styles to intrigue different levels of collectors depending on your price point.
So if I have a Connor Bedard rookie card, which of those Synergy, Allure, Upper Deck, O-Pee-Chee, MVP, which of those would command the highest dollar?
So Cup is the highest. It's called the Cup. It's a pack that usually runs, this year will be interesting with the Bedard, but usually runs around $1,000 to $1,200 for a pack for 6 cards.
What?
Correct. $1,000 for 6 cards. That is the highest. Wow. Yes. Now, that's not necessarily the most popular, the one that's most sought after. The one that's most sought after is the Young Gun. And I'm sure everybody who's collected has heard that phrase before. That's what started back in 1990 was the Young Guns. And that name has now been kind of synonymous with rookie cards. So when we have people come in, I will say 99 times out of 100, they ask, do you have the Young Gun of Connor McDavid? Do you have the Young Gun of Leon Draisaitl? That's mainly what is asked for. And it is by far the most popular card collected, period. Nothing even close.
Wow.
Okay, so if, like, I'm back in the day, I was McDonald's cards and stuff. So now, like, all of this stuff, I'm not Dusty. I'm not collecting these and knowing everything. What is the best way for somebody who's wanting to get into hockey cards to learn about the different sets? Is there a websites that are musts? Is it like, what is the best way to get knowledge and build a base on knowing what's going on with the card world?
Kind of like everything, ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're there for as a card shop, to answer questions and kind of gear people away to what they are looking to do. Or, you know, are you looking for rookie cards? Are you looking for memorabilia? Are you looking for autographs? And we can kind of direct you to which sets to go for. But I use, obviously, you know, a bunch of different comparisons, like going fishing. What lure do you use? What rod do you use? What lake do you go to? You ask the questions. And I think that's the best way for us to answer that. We just ask these questions, and that is our way of gearing people toward, if you want memorabilia, go to Artifacts. If you want to collect just rookies, stick with Upper Deck. If you want high end, go to the Cup. You know, there's all different ways you can collect, and there's no wrong way, whether you want to spend $5 or $5,000. There's no right or wrong way to collect cards. That's for sure.
How is the card industry right now? Because I remember during COVID, there was this shoot up of cards across the board. Hockey, Pokemon, like it shot up. Has it stayed up? Has it come down? Has it leveled off? Where is the card world right now?
Great question. Very, very strong right now. Very strong. And we've kind of had our ebbs and flows when the generational players come out. So back in 05, 06, and I'm only going to go back that far. In 05, 06, we had a couple of guys by the name of Crosby and Ovechkin.
I went looking for their cards.
Right. So that changed cards forever. That was the first year of Cup. And it was crazy, like absolutely crazy where the card collecting market went at that point. And again, we had the highs and lows between there. And then we had 15, 16, which was Connor McDavid. And that again brought collectors out of the woodwork. Sure. 23, 24, again, brought people out of the woodwork collecting Bedard. But right now, you know, COVID kind of put it to a point where card collecting right now, it's just crazy. It's a lot of fun. People are investing in it, not only collecting. You know, you hear all these different stories of groups getting together, you know, groups of 8 or 10 businessmen, and these guys are getting together and they're deciding, you know, which card should we buy next? Should we buy a Babe Ruth card worth $250? Do we buy a Mickey Mantle card worth $1.8 million? It's become an investment game. So it's collectible, it's an investment, and it's a part of culture. I mean, look how long it's been around. It's been forever.
These investments and these, you know, higher end cards, have you ever experienced, because, you know, the theory you would think, at least what I would assume, is you have a Young Guns. It's a Connor Bedard rookie. You hold on to that sucker, 15, 20 years, and it's gonna keep increasing in value. Or is it sometime, with some cards you see a plateau and then it drops off and the value comes down? Or is it generally these things tend to increase over time?
So if I knew that, I would be retired 40 years ago. I wish I could say there was an easy fix to it. It really is. It's all based on player performance.
Okay.
Back in the day, and I'll bring up a name for an example. We all remember a fellow by the name of Patrick Steffen. That card was so highly sought after when it first came out.
Really?
It was crazy. Well, we all know what happened to Patrick Steffen. Let's go back to the
great empty net.
Wasn't that something? So you get situations like that. And I think he went into acting too. Wasn't he wanted to get into acting?
Did he get into acting?
Something, I can't remember. But so you get situations like that where if you had sunk $20, $30, $40, $50 into a Patrick Steffen rookie card, you're lucky to have a dollar card now. So to answer the question of do cards continue to go up? Yes. A player, and I'll use Alexander Ovechkin for a great example.
I was going to ask about that one.
Yeah. So forever he was in the shadows of Sidney Crosby. I think the young gun for Crosby was actively selling for between $600 and $800 for the longest time. Ovechkin was at $300 and didn't move. It sat at that number and sat at that number. The minute he won the Stanley Cup, his card went and was almost equal. It was, if Crosby was $800, Ovechkin was $600 or $700. As we approach this record of passing Wayne Gretzky for all-time goal scoring, his card has now surpassed Crosby. In a lot of instances, when you look at cards, whether it be the MVP rookie, the Beehive rookie, the Young Gun, the Ovechkin cards are now actually selling higher than the Sidney Crosby cards. So again, answering your questions, it's all about player performance, and it keeps going up as the player keeps hitting those different plateaus, winning scoring titles, goal scoring, winning the Stanley Cup, reaching all-time scoring records. Those are all things that play a factor, and popularity can play a huge factor into the game as well.
When you say the Ovechkin card is now higher than the Crosby card, is it specific cards or is it just in general?
Everything.
It's just in general?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Every card.
Because, yeah, I mean, Ovechkin, this is his 20th season, so that would have been early 2000s that card would have come out. But has the game totally changed? Did the card game change in those 20 years drastically?
Tons.
Yeah,
tons. I mean, back in the day, it was 05, 06, and the Ovechkin rookie, I might get this number wrong, but I think the Crosby at the time was a $200 card and the Ovechkin was a $100 card when they first came out. And then Crosby won his Stanley Cup, I think it was 3 years into his career, and it went to $400 or $500. And then he kept another Stanley Cup and another, and it went up to $600 or $800. So you can see how it continues to climb. Ovechkin was a little bit more, a bigger jump in terms of value because of it sat for so long. And then when he won the cup, everyone's like, oh, wait a second.
Well, this player's still around.
Absolutely. So then he won the cup. And now, like I said, approaching this Gretzky record, his cards are going crazy.
Matt Hyman, listener out of Manitoba, and I think I know the answer, but I wanted to, because we talked about grading last time you were on. He asked, at what grading does the card equal its non-graded counterpart? So, for example, are you better off with a PSA 8 or an ungraded 9 new card?
There's another one we could talk for hours on. A fantastic question. We get that one all the time. So I encourage people when they have a card, and we hear it so often when someone walks in the store going, I just got this out of a pack. I know it's going to come back at a 10. That doesn't mean it's coming back at a 10.
Sure.
Things can happen in the process of the card going into the pack, whether a corner gets nicked or surface scratching or scratching on the back of the card, whether grains of sand got in as the sheets were rolling across the printing press. All this, and centering of the card is another thing. But all this plays into a factor of a card. So just because it came out of a pack doesn't mean that it's going to come back at a 10. Answering the question now, it's really tough because there is definitely a point where if the card does not come back at a certain grade, you might as well have not sent it in to be graded and spent the money.
Sure.
And that can be at those levels. So I always say for Beckett, it's at a BGS 9. If it doesn't come back better than a 9, then really it's just basically saying that the card is what it is. And McDavid is the best example. I think McDavid 9s go for $900 or $1,000, and Raws go for that. Sometimes Raws can even go for a little bit more because people take the chance and, hey, maybe this is a 9.5 or a 10.
Right.
So that's that level. PSA, same thing. I would say 9. You can argue an 8 depending on the era of the card. And you go back, going back further, you can get lower grades and be very successful. Guys like Guy Lafleur or Bobby Orr's, Wayne Gretzky rookies, lower grades are still like even a 1 for a Gretzky still sells for $800 to $1,000. And that card's mangled. A 1 is basically crumpled in your hand, bent up. You opened it back up and sent it in for grading. And that's a 1 and it still comes back at $800 to $1,000.
Okay, we're going to continue on with Wayne for another segment here. We're gonna talk to him about the Oilers. And please, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Charlie, I see yours in the nasty chat. We'll get to it. Please feel free to chime in at the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox is presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday.
The offer still on for tomorrow?
It is. You got to tell me, though. I got to tell my wife. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. More with Wayne from Wayne Sports Cards coming up after the break. It's the Coob.
Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch has confirmed that Stuart Skinner, Matthias Ekholm, and John Klingberg will not join the team during their current road trip, with the Oilers having 3 games in Cali. And tonight, the Oilers visit the Shark Tank. Cal Pickard gets the start. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas tee up the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show. Live at 7:30, only on EST. 8 other games around the league. The Jets and Golden Knights face off. Calgary hosts Anaheim, and the Sens meet the Lightning in the lone. WHL playoff matchup sees Vancouver looking to tie their series at 2 apiece in Game 4 against Spokane. Down south, Trey McBride is now the highest paid tight end in NFL history, signing a 4-year, $76 million contract with the Cardinals, worth an average salary of $19 million. Meanwhile, Geno Smith and the Raiders have agreed to a 2-year, $85.5 million deal, with Smith having 4,300 yards and 21 touchdowns for the Seahawks last season. In the association, Toronto plays Portland. The Warriors battle the Lakers, and the Bucks take on the 76ers. 6 games in the NBA. And baseball has 1 game live. Houston holding Minnesota 4-2 at the bottom of the 5th inning. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can shop online at paramountflooring.ca. More with Wayne Wagner when we get back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. As mentioned earlier, Reid is off for the rest of this week, taking care of his 51st birthday.
He's on the 5-day bender.
Hangover. That's what we said yesterday.
No, 6-day bender.
Yeah, I really doubt it.
I saw him this morning. He was completely on the morning show. You could just see his bender was just going.
Did that morning show appearance tick you off?
No, why would it?
I don't know. Some weird things bother you.
He had to take the days off. He took the days off. If he wants to come on the station while he's off, sure, go for it. I don't care.
So Reid could have still been in and doing the show?
I would have preferred he not. I'd prefer he would have not.
So there it is.
If you have an off day, enjoy it. Go take advantage of those. You're getting paid to not work.
Fine.
Go do that.
Well, you know what, Matt? We've got something to talk about. We've got Wayne from Wayne Sports Cards in the house talking about National Hockey Card Day, which is coming up this Saturday. Everybody knows where Wayne's is, but it's just on the corner of what 170th and what's the avenue?
90th Ave.
90th Avenue. National Hockey Card Day. Go in, see Wayne. You get a free pack of cards, and they've got some other specials. If you buy some things, you could get more of these.
Biggest day of the year for you guys?
What's that, sorry?
Biggest day of the year for you guys?
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah. The amount of people that we push through the store is just, it's crazy.
Do you,
Crazy.
okay, let me ask you this. Are you kind of like, okay, bud, you've been in here for 15 minutes. Either buy something or get out. Because it's limited space, right?
As much as you love to, yeah, no, we don't do that. And you know what? I'll be honest. The day is actually our day to give back to. There's not many times that you have an opportunity to say, hey, we're doing a special day to give back to the customers, and just pick a random day. We're going to do it on June 27th, whatever it is. This is the day that we've chosen to say, hey, you know what? We're just going to give back. Like I said, the door prizes and all the stuff and the balloons. This year we've got something special planned, and I know we've got a sneaky post that we did put up. We advertised 97 golden tickets.
Ooh!
So we'll let everybody kind of think about that one for a bit. But we have 97 golden tickets that we'll post more information on either later today or tomorrow. Maybe explaining kind of a little bit about what we're doing there.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Do they still I've seen the Magnum PIs. Cards or like those old school cards. Do they still TV shows still put out cards like even the newer TV shows? Do they?
Absolutely. They just did one. Cheers.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They just did
a new set.
A brand new set for Cheers. Yeah. And they've got as many people as they can get autographed. Obviously, Coach, we cannot get autographs unless you want to use cut autographs, which is another topic to discuss. But they've got Ted Danson is in there. George Wendt is in there. So all the guys are in their autograph. But yeah, it's a brand new set that just came out.
Okay, I got to ask because I saw the Honus Wagner a couple of weeks ago, and the Honus Wagner card is going up. And I know the Honus Wagner card is a big deal. Okay, you have Daryl Cates-esque money. You can go buy one card in the world. Which card do you want? Which card does Wayne from Wayne Sports Cards want?
Ooh. That is
any card in the world. Magically, you're gonna hunt and get that one card. Which card do you want?
I don't think I've ever had that question asked to me before.
Are you serious?
No. Now I'm on the spot. I don't even know how to
Honus
respond.
Wagner would be one for me just because it's, and I was informing Jay and Brendan the intern about how big of a deal that one is and how it's like, I think one of the last sales went for like $7 million and how it's, if I had that one, I'd want just to own that card just to be able to I have a Honus Wagner rookie card.
And that'd be bragging rights. No question about it.
But for you, where would you go? If you could get any card in the world, get your hands on it and own it.
I think I'd gravitate toward that. If you've got that kind of money and you're willing to spend that kind of money, you'd want to own the Mickey Mantle that sold for $12 million. You'd want to own a Honus. I mean, it's kind of cool for me, Honus Wagner, last name. So that would be kind of neat owning a high grade of that card. That's where you'd have to reach because really, if you have that kind of money to buy a no offense to any of the players, but to buy a Zach Hyman rookie card for $30 isn't exactly the money you're going to be spending. So yeah, I would say you would have to target a Mickey Mantle or Honus Wagner or maybe that case that came up of Wayne Gretzky wax that went for $5 million. That's the stuff I think if I had that kind of money, that's what I'd target.
So the Honus Wagner, because obviously his playing days are over.
Yep. You could say that.
But is that what did it sell for, Maddie?
Well, they say the next one of them sold for 7.5 recently or something like that, but there's 1
million
coming up in a couple of weeks, and they estimate maybe a $5 million auction for that one.
So do those keep 20 years from now, is that going to be 10 million or 12 million or even 20? Do you think that those trends continue, or is there the high end that it kind of clips out at?
No, that's the nice thing about this market is that's exactly what's happening is as we continue to bring more collectors into this, like I said, it kind of exploded, or we've discussed, it kind of exploded with COVID. It had gone up before then. I mentioned all the different years and dates. More and more collectors, meaning more and more people wanting these cards, which means if you have people that have the money, and I'm just going to use a number, let's just say there is only 15 Honus Wagner cards that exist. And 20 years ago, you had 4 people that were collecting that could afford those cards. Now you have 24 people that want those cards. There's only 20 out there or 15 out there. Where do you go? And the nice thing about a card like that is, and I'll use the Honus Wagner, the Mickey Mantle that sold for $12.5 million. That's the highest graded Mickey Mantle card. So now the guy that paid 12.5, if you want to own that card,
he's not going less.
He's not going less. You got to pay more. So now he turns around and says, you know what? I had it for a year. I had it for 2 years. I had it for 8 years. I'm bored of it. I want 15 million. Well, the next guy is going to have to pony up and either pay the 50 million or you're not going to own the card. So cards like that, the uniqueness of the cards, the one-of-ones, Is that why the Pulse games are so popular? Correct.
Because it's one of one?
Correct. Yep, exactly that. And the lower numbered, even a Connor McDavid Cup rookie, which is numbered out of 99. There's only 99 in the world. How many people would love to own that Connor McDavid Cup rookie, anticipating eventually we see a Stanley Cup? And I just explained what happened with Ovechkin winning the Stanley Cup. The same thing will happen for Connor McDavid.
Well, speaking of Connor McDavid, he's not going to be in the lineup tonight. The Oilers are in San Jose. Puck drop shortly after 8:30. Wayne, you're a big Oilers fan. You follow the team. I mean, there's 8 games left in the regular season. But they're 6-3-1 in their last 10. They've won their last 2. How are things, in your opinion, shaping up for this team heading into the playoffs?
It's going to be interesting. I think the situation we have with the way the playoffs are always situated, it's LA Vegas. You always know that those are the teams you're going to face all the time. And as much as I think you create that rivalry and that hatred for the other team, I don't know if I enjoy it as much as I used to enjoy the 1-16 that they used to do back in the day, where you'd see different teams and you'd see different players and you'd get the different rivalries created. And every year, where are we headed right now? Yep. Again, you're going to face the LA Kings. Unless the Vegas falters and LA or Edmonton gets hot and burns off 8 wins in a row, you're going to see the same repetition. How many years in a row have we played LA?
It'll be 4. If it's this year, it'll be 4.
4 in a row. So it's the same thing. I'm still liking the team. I think the odds makers still have Edmonton as being one of the favorites to win the Stanley Cup. They seem to do this every single year. We see the slumps through the year. And somehow, I shouldn't say somehow, there's a lot of talent on this hockey team. And I think they pull it together and they do what they have to do, knowing how to play playoff hockey. And I think they've learned that through the past few years.
Okay, if it is Oilers Kings, 4 straight years. Oilers have won 3 of them. Yep. The Kings have only lost 4 regulation games at home this year. Right now, they are sitting in second. That's why this little run right here is important. Are you worried about the LA Kings?
Always have to be. I think teams build their teams based on the teams that they have to face.
Yeah.
And LA Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights have built their teams on anti-Edmonton.
Especially LA.
Absolutely.
They have the Edmonton Oilers circled.
Yep. They build the grit and the toughness, and I think LA's been that way for a while. You go back to the Dustin Browns and the guys that used to play on that team. Oh. That was the way they played when they won the Stanley Cup. They played very gritty, in the corner, knock your head off type of hockey, and it was very effective. And I think that's the way they target a team like Edmonton, who wants to skate and score goals.
You had mentioned, we were talking in the break, Maddie and I had a bit of a debate on it yesterday, on goaltender Olivier Rodrigue, who Matt thought that, okay, if you're gonna get him in on this road trip, why not against San Jose tonight? Give Pickard a rest, because the general thought or sentiment is that you're gonna run Pickard now tonight and you're gonna run him again Saturday afternoon
at 2:00.
At 2:00.
Yep.
Now your eyes kind of lit up when we said Olivier Rodrigue. Do you know something that we don't, Wayne, or what do you got on this Olivier Rodrigue?
So I played goal when I was young.
Okay.
That was my thing through junior hockey. I played goal. So I enjoy following goalies, and I love teams that seem to catch lightning in a bottle when it comes to goaltending. Montreal did it back in the 80s with a fellow by the name of Patrick Waugh. And there's a bunch of other goaltenders that just pop up out of nowhere and just become these superstar goaltenders. I'm not saying that's where he's destined to fall, but it's not like we've had Patrick Waugh goaltending. No offense to Skinner or Pickard. Maybe this is the time to throw him in and let's just see what he can do. Maybe this is the lightning in the bottle for the Edmonton Oilers. We have 8 games left. 1 game isn't going to tell us. 2 games may. So maybe on your theory, maybe he should have played tonight and give Pickard Saturday's game and see what happens.
Get them all ready to go.
Correct. And then give him a second game down the road. Skinner's going to be back. Then what do you do? So I think it's time that we give this kid a chance, give him an opportunity to play, see what he's made of. And like I said, maybe this is that lightning in the bottle the Oilers need, that a goaltender that stands on his head. Everybody knows defense and goaltending will win you games in the playoffs.
And I think it's just tonight, there's the trap scare that I have about this Oilers team.
Well,
and if you go play a younger goalie in his first career start, maybe it just has the Oilers ready to go a little bit sharper to start the game because they know the guy back there isn't used to this.
And I just thought, Calvin Pickard's been playing well. The team in front of him has been playing well. I'm not saying that Calvin Pickard is going to insert himself or rise to becoming labeled as the starter, but it wouldn't be the worst problem in the world to have a little bit of a decision in your head if you're Coach Chris Knobloch leading up to the playoffs, saying, "Jesus, what if Pickard runs, out of these, what if he wins another 2 in a row? What if you go to Anaheim and he's won 4 straight and he's hot? I mean, that's good for Oilers fans, but it's going to create a little bit of a debate.
I think we're already in that debate period. With Skinner being hurt and us put in the situation where it's Pickard and Rodrigue, I think we've already been put in that situation. I wouldn't want to be coach. I can tell you that right now. It's a very tough decision for him to make on where he's going with this. Yes, Pickard has been playing very well. Again, nothing against him. He's not Patrick Waugh. He's not Bobrovsky. And like I said, goaltending wins you hockey games in the playoffs. We saw it last year with Bobrovsky. We saw it with other goaltenders. Look how Vancouver played with Demko out. Mm-hmm. They paid the price for not having Demko in against us. So goaltending will win you games. And in this situation now, you've only got 8 games for this so-called experiment to have either Pickard in or Skinner in or Rodrigue if he gets hot. Who knows?
Skinner's healthy. We don't know what happens over the next few games. You're now the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers who starts game 1.
I need to see what Rodrigue is going to do. I need to see him for 2 games, and then I can make my call as a coach to see how the team plays.
You're rolling Rodrigue out game 1. I can tell.
No one's got tape on him.
That's true. There's no book. Hey, Wayne, before we let you go, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming down here and talking about National Hockey Card Day. And good on you for what you guys are doing, because I don't know if you want me to say it. I'm just going to say it, okay? Sorry. But these cards that Wayne's giving away for free, Upper Deck does not just give him these cards. This is something that you guys are doing to like you said, treat your customers, your family. Pretty much a lot of those people are darn near family to you. So good for you guys for doing that. I think that's great. I had a question come in, and I've thought about this before too, because this fella, it's an unnamed text on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. I have a rookie Gretzky from when I was a kid. How safe is it to send away to get graded? He's scared of losing it, right? And how many you've probably dealt with this. So what would you say to this listener?
That is one of the issues. Obviously, it's not the grading company you have to worry about. And I'll just use PSA because they do grade the most cards. PSA grades over 1 million cards a month. Not a year. They grade 1 million cards a month. So they're not going to stake the reputation on one card. That is some of the fear people have is that, hey, I send this card away and it's not going to come back from the company. Trust me, it's coming back from the company. Is the mail safe? 99.9% of the time, your card is going to get there and it is going to come back. But you are, I'm not going to deny it, you are taking a risk sending your card through the mail. No matter where, if you send it express, if you send it regular, there is that chance that item will go missing.
Just drive it down there.
Yeah, well, you can do that. Fly down to California, go to PSA or go to Texas and go to Beckett. Absolutely. You can do that.
Okay, one more for you before we let you go. Charlie Dufault is a great listener of ours. He said, I'm going to put you on the spot here, so if you don't know, that's okay. But what's an Upper Deck 9091 box set worth? He said it's not graded. So this would be an Upper Deck 9091 box set.
I don't think he wants the answer to that. So the 90s was everybody calls it the junk wax, and I hate that term. I absolutely despise the term. It's just the years where everything was overproduced. The companies held no restraint. Nowadays, cards are produced. They have a certain limited run. Cards prove that point by throwing the printing plates into the packs. They can't print anymore. The printing plates are gone. Back in the day, they would print, and I'll just use a number, 15,000 cases. They'd say, we sold out. We'll print 15,000 more. We sold out. Print 5,000 more. And that's that 90s era. So unfortunately, even those cards are 40 years old.
Just saturated market.
It's just saturated market. Those boxes we sell in the shop for $60. So they have escalated a little bit in value, but it's definitely not something you can retire on. That's for sure.
Wayne, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it. Go check out Wayne's Sports Cards on 170th and 90th Ave. This Saturday is National Hockey Card Day.
When are you guys open?
We are open at 11 o'clock. Yep. And get there early. As I mentioned, there is a lineup. We'd like to warn people because we've had people show up and they look at the line, they go, hell no, I am not standing in that line because it is a long line. So if you don't like lines, show up around 3:30. Lineup is kind of dissipated and you can get in a little bit easier.
Okay, that's good to know. Wayne from Wayne Sports Card, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. We're going to be back next. We're going to set up this Oilers game against the Sharks with the oil understood for GCL Diesel. But first, a sports update from the Cube.
The Lock Shop.
Connor McMichael, I don't think he's a big fighter. Probably was a bit of a mismatch to begin with, which is part of the reason why he was sort of hanging on for dear life. But I mean, if that's okay, what would have happened if he picked him up, turned him around, and did a tombstone pile drive? And for that to happen 2 weeks before the playoffs on as dangerous a play as you were going to see in the NHL maybe this year, and to just say no supplemental discipline, then I think they whiffed on that
The
one.
Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the East LA rock and roll legend with the world sound Los Lobos at the River Cree Resort and Casino May 15th.
Don't worry, baby, what the world may bring. Well, don't worry, baby.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Three more road games for the Oilers. Head coach Chris Knobloch confirming that Stuart Skinner, Matthias Ekholm, and John Klingberg will not join the team during their California swing. You can tune in to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they preview the action live at 7:30 right here on EST. 8 other games around the league. Canadians and Bruins face off. Boston hopes to avoid 10 straight losses, while the Oilers' next opponent on Saturday, the Kings, take on the Hockey Club, and the Avs battle the Blue Jackets. 2 major signings in the NFL. Former Seahawk Geno Smith signing a 2-year deal worth over $85 million with the Raiders, while Arizona has signed Trey McBride on a 4-year, $76 million extension, making him the highest paid tight end in NFL history. On the court, Toronto tips off against Portland. Grizzlies and the Heat duke it out, Miami winning 6 straight games, Memphis dropping the last 4, while the Lakers challenge the Warriors, having 6 games around the association. Basketball or baseball has just 1 game live. Astros up 5-2 on the Twins at the bottom of the 6th. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. You're locked and loaded here on the Reid Wilkins Show.
Oh, yeah. This is North Shore.
Believe in me. I foresee.
Are you on the vocals?
Yeah, that's me.
Is it?
That's why it sounds like me.
That does.
Believe in me.
There you go, Coob. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go, baby. We are back with the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. No Reid Wilkins today. He will be back on Monday, but I am joined by Matthew Iwanyk and the long-awaited clue number 2 for the mystery athlete of the game. Go ahead, Matty.
You hit that like 56 likes. 56 likes.
Oh, let's
hit that
better.
Hit that like button if you want to do the word of the day. I get to give it to Jay today.
Clip
I've got a couple of options right there. Do I say what the first clue was, or do I just jump right into the second clue?
You can you can do it.
I just don't know what the rules are.
Reid will often do that.
So we're doing the second clue. First clue is Burnaby. Second clue, 19.
Okay.
19.
And just to be clear, nobody has gotten it.
Not that I saw.
There were a lot of guesses. Matthew,
but then we got
correct.
it to Wayne. So I should just quickly double check that. I don't believe anyone did though.
No, I was keeping an eye on it. It's you're good.
Rob from the Grove, it was just an afternoon. That was very kind of him. At this moment, I do not see it. I do not see it.
All right, it is time. The Oilers are playing tonight in San Jose. Puck drops shortly after 8:30. It's time for the Oil Understood, brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta area for over 50 years, and now a partner of the Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. What?
You said you wanted to go for a record today.
I just too nervous. Too nervous. Couldn't do it.
Like I figured you'd let me. Like I was going to go through every single one of these cards. I got through 4 of them.
Do you think we could make a set?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Matt.
I was ready to go for a record.
Live a little, okay?
Yeah, by going with the awkward pause, and you just.
Okay, a reminder.
Expect it better tomorrow.
These guesses will not be accepted on the Nasty Chat. So Dan Windsor, text in, although I will say, well, I won't say anything. Text in at the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Text your guesses there. And nobody's gotten it yet. So the Oilers are in San Jose, as we said. The lineups look the same from the last game. So you got Draisaitl centering, Podkolzin and Arvidsson, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in between Kapanen and Hyman, Janmark centers Skinner and Brown, and Henrique in between Jones and Perry. For the defensive pairings, you've got Jake Wallman, Evan Bouchard, you've got Nurse and Stetcher, Kulak and Emerson, and obviously, as we found out yesterday, Calvin Pickard is in net for the Oilers. Matt, I know we were talking about this game and particularly about the goaltending yesterday on the show, but is this game tonight more important for this team to get a win than it is on Saturday?
No.
Points are points. Points, great. You get 2 points for a win. I understand that. But for this team, who's won their last 2, they've looked good without, arguably 2 of their top 4 players in the lineup in McDavid and Ekholm. And by the way, Ekholm, Skinner, and who else was, they're not going to be making this.
Klingberg
are not going to be on this road trip at all.
Very
so you will not see any of them until they return back to Edmonton. I think for the Oilers, tonight's game is a bit of a statement game. Okay, I think this is a game that they have to go in and put the foot down and show that they are, a much better team than San Jose. So it's a bit of a, to be honest, I for Oilers fans, I would be a bit nervous because this is a game that you've seen it time in and time again, that the Oilers can find a way to play down to their level, to their opponents. But I think, Reid and I always joke about must wins, got to have it. But is this a more of a got to have it game or a can't lose for the Edmonton Oilers?
This is can't lose just if you want to get home ice, but it doesn't mean anything else. There's no bigger name statement to this game in my eyes in any way, shape, or form. The playoffs are a different beast. The playoffs are different. If the Oilers lose tonight, it doesn't change anyone's thoughts of whether this team could go win the Stanley Cup. That's ultimately what comes down to. Because, even if it is, you could just go with they play down to their competition. In the playoffs, you don't see a San Jose Sharks. There's no playing down to your competition. You're only playing with the best at that point. So you'll be just fine. Saturday means a lot more, only specifically just because of the race for second in the Pacific. That even if you lose tonight, the Oilers have 2 games against the LA Kings still. You can make up this ground, no problem. You have the games in your pocket that if you go beat the LA Kings, you still could control getting second. There is no statement game for me in this. They lose tonight, it doesn't change a single thought I have about the playoffs, partly because the regular season doesn't matter. Last year, Colorado, Winnipeg met right not too long before the playoffs began, late regular season. Winnipeg smoked Colorado, went into the playoffs. Avs took care of business, 1-5 against the Jets. Doesn't mean anything.
See, I disagree. I think it does, because if, we've already talked about the healthy or hot debate.
Yep.
In terms of leading into the playoffs, which would you rather have the Oilers in a situation of, on a roll or completely healthy? And it's, I get it. It's healthy. But what if you could have a bit of both? What if you could have, you're resting Connor McDavid, you're resting Ekholm, they're getting them up to level, like they want to get them as close to 100% as possible, right? They could play. That's been said. This was a playoff game 1. They're in the lineup, but they're resting them. What if you could have both? I think that is important. I think that's why this game tonight, a game against LA, if you would lose that, I would say it would have less mental significance than a loss to the lowly San Jose Sharks tonight.
Oh, I disagree. You give the LA Kings any sort of hope going into the playoff series against the Oilers, that hurts you a little bit. The LA Kings go win that game on Saturday. They go into that playoff series being able to say, we may have lost to these guys 3 straight years, but look at what we just did to them.
Yeah, without Ekholm, without McDavid.
But to the LA Kings, it doesn't matter. The LA Kings will use it for something.
Yeah, but the Oilers could use it the opposite way and say, we didn't have our best players in the lineup.
But the LA, if you go beat the LA Kings on Saturday, what do the LA Kings have? The LA Kings go into, and then now this will also you'd have to play into what happens in that last regular season meeting. But between these two, if you beat the LA Kings on Saturday, they go into a playoff series going, what do we have to do to beat this team? We lost 3 straight playoff series to them the last 3 years. They didn't have these guys, McDavid, Ekholm, Skinner, and they still beat us in our own barn for the 5th time this season. We lost at home in regulation type thing. Saturday has more of the playoff implication, if there's anything, than tonight. Saturday is the much bigger game than this one. And by me saying much bigger, it's still not as big. Biggest regular season playoffs are different beasts.
Jake Wallman recorded his first goal and 6th point in an Oilers uniform in Tuesday's win over Vegas. He'll be back in San Jose playing the Sharks for the first time.
Does he get the video tribute?
Being acquired? I don't think so. I certainly hope not. I mean, it wasn't there that long. And he's 2 points away from his first 40-point season in the NHL. Jake Wallman is a player that was traded with term. There's 1 year left on that contract, which now is looking very valuable. Do you think, what have you thought of Jake Wallman coming in? I know when the trade happened, that took everybody by surprise, almost like Mattias Ekholm's trade, because he wasn't on anybody's big board. He wasn't noted as a player that was getting traded. But for me, I think the Oilers have really found a player here, and that, you get him at that another year at that same contract, then that number of value is going to go up. But what have you thought of Jake Wallman, since March 7th?
He's doing what you would think and want from Jake Wallman. He has his errors, he has his mistakes, he has his flaws, which is you're going to get a turnover a game from him in the defensive zone. But for the most part, he does more good than he does bad. I think everyone in that trade should be very happy. I think Mike Greer and the Sharks, they didn't give up much to get Wallman. They got nice pieces in return for Wallman, and the Oilers got a player that they can use on defense that helps bolster their defensive pairing going into the playoffs this year, and it helps them going into next year with that as well. So, from what I've seen from him, for the most part, I've liked him. Like, it's just going to be fingers crossed when he makes that bad mistake, that has that giveaway. It's not in a crucial moment. It's not in a critical spot where that's what hurts you. That it's game 6 overtime or something like that. And that's where you go, oh my God, there's that there's that turnover. Somebody got it?
Who's right, Matt? I knew this was going to happen. I knew it.
Yeah, it took an hour and 15 minutes.
Second clue. I told you.
If we had done the second clue before 4 o'clock, we would have been able to jump into a third clue.
What do you mean? That doesn't mean anything. That means I'm right. You're wrong.
I still am fine with it.
We went back and forth on this all afternoon. I said to Matt, as soon as you say the second clue, somebody's going to get it. And he said, no.
We know who won this. Let's continue and see how many more people get this.
We can do that. We can do that. It's up to us.
That's why you did that. I was actually debating whether to flip 2 and 3 around. I should have flipped 2 and 3 around.
Maybe you should have. It's a cruel game to play, Matty. It's a cruel game. It ain't.
I didn't want to be Reid. I didn't want to be Reid.
It ain't easy.
I didn't want to be Reid.
The Oilers have been involved in 36 one-goal games, winning 21 of them. Coach Knobloch was asked about his level of comfort in these tight games.
I'd be much more comfortable winning by 4 or 5, but I think with this team, under the pressure that they've been through many years, but especially last year in the playoffs, and they understand the importance of tight games and what needs to be done, and there's not a level of panic, which is nice.
Coach Knob was also asked if these close games have battle tested the Oilers group heading into the playoffs.
Well, it's good for us down the stretch, just because there's going to be 1-goal games in the playoffs. Things are on the line, that we are able to handle those situations. But for my sake, I'd like a little more comfort in some of those games.
Maddie, do you think that 36 games that have been decided by 1 goal? I don't know where that fits into the ether of the league, but is to me, I think that's because they've come out on the winning end 21 times. So they're capable of winning close games. I think that's a positive.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
it shows you know how to win.
Yeah. Obviously you'd prefer to win those, like you said.
No, but there's like you've seen in the past, some teams that when it's closer games, they find a way to lose. They might be able to win a lot of other games 2-3 goals, but if it's a close, tight game, you want to be the team that knows how to win it. And the Oilers have shown that they're the team that knows how to win it. AA, you weren't the winner.
Why, he thought he was?
Well, he's saying he had texted in an answer or a guess, and he goes ding, ding, ding in the nasty chat.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't you. Okay, you are listening to us from...
Well, I want to give my second or third clue then.
Okay, you want to do it before the break? I guess it doesn't matter now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now. Left shot.
Ken got it in the nasty chat.
Burnaby, 19, left shot.
River Cree.
I should have went left shot, 19.
Clue number 3 is what?
Left shot. It's over. It's given away. We're going to see how many other people guess this.
And now guesses are, still
Go
send
for
them
it.
to the River Cree inbox 780.
Go wherever you want. It doesn't matter.
Oh, you're just
no one's going to win.
Apart.
I don't think we're going to get a lot more. I set the over-under at a 10. That's it.
I'm just glad I was right. You're listening to us from the Canadian Brewhouse studio. UFC 314 goes down at the Canadian Brewhouse on April 12th. Watch every knockout on the most TVs with epic food and drinks in the best atmosphere. Don't miss the action. Our house is your house. We're back after the break. We're going to keep talking about the Oilers. We might talk about the Jays. We're definitely going to talk about Alexander Ovechkin, who currently sits at 892 goals, 3 away from the record of the great one. When's it going to happen? Is anybody else going to catch him? Find out next after the Coupe Sports Update.
Three games left in the California road trip for the Oilers. And their head coach, Chris Knobloch, has confirmed that Stuart Skinner, Matthias Ekholm, and John Klingberg will not join the team down in the States. Calvin Pickard gets a call in between the pipes tonight. Oilers seek 4 straight wins when they challenge the Sharks. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas chop it up during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show at 7:30 right here on EST. We also see St. Louis looking for 11 straight wins. They host Pittsburgh. And the Ducks and Flames also go at it, while the Jets meet the Golden Knights, having 9 games in the NHL. The Raps and Trailblazers tip off 6 games around the association. Magic and Wizards have a date, while Minnesota hits a court in Brooklyn. And Geno Smith gets the bag, signing a 2-year deal with the Raiders worth a maximum amount of $85 million. And for the Cards, Trey McBride is now the highest paid tight end in NFL history, getting a 4-year, $76 million contract extension in Arizona. Just one game live in baseball. Minnesota is down 5-2 against Houston at the top of the 8th inning. The sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. And Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
The showdown continues at the Canadian Brewhouse. Wing flavors of the month. Zillionaire sauce versus passion fruit habanero. One's cool as a cucumber, the other's fire in your face. Who will reign supreme? Come taste the madness. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Join our very own Dustin Nielsen, Trey and Terrell Ford of the Edmonton Elks, and other special guests on Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell in Scona for Edmonton Sports Talks Bids for Kids, presented by GS Construction. A special live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50-50, and more. This year, Kids Sport is proudly celebrating 30 years of making a positive impact in our community. Don't miss out and join this special celebration to help continue to support those in need. Tickets are limited. Find them today at kidsportbidsforkids.com. That's kidsportbidsforkids.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the East LA rock and roll legend with the world sound, Los Lobos, at the River Cree Resort and Casino May 15th.
Don't worry, baby, what the world may bring. Well, don't worry, baby.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Welcome back. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
It is the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest co-host Matthew Iwanyk. Reid is off for the rest of the week. He will be back on Monday, so have no fear. Reid Rick will be here. You can get a hold of us. You can send in anything you want, even if you want to say, hey, you guys suck. Hey, Matthew, you're the best. You can do it all on the River Cree inbox. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. Our off-topic topic for William Huff has garnered some interesting answers. The question was raised, if you could open a food truck, what would it be called and what would be your specialty? So please send those in to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Scott on a hotel balcony.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
In Beaumont. Serial Killers would be the name. All things cereal all day. This is interesting.
Brilliant.
Cereal coated fried chicken. Cereal milk lattes? Like cereal milk, like that's the milk from cereal? Like, would it be used milk? Is what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, they're loading a bunch of
like
corn flakes,
or something,
and then you're taking the milk from that,
and then you're straining it out and using that is brilliant. Gourmet cereal bowls and cereal infused burgers. Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont.
Well, I'm assuming you could also then just get a bowl of cereal.
You would assume, Matt,
you would have to be able to just get a bowl of cereal.
But you know what they say about assumption. They make an ass out of you and me.
I do like that one. That is perhaps my favorite one.
Not a food truck. This comes in from Dave the welder, but if I owned a nightclub, I'd call it Seals. then people can say they're clubbing at Seals on the weekend. Interesting. Okay. Send them in. Keep them coming. Coob, you're up.
Why is Coob up?
Why am I up?
Oh, that was Castor 1990 that won the Mystery Athlete of the Game.
Yeah, what's that got to do with Coob?
Coob. Well, we were talking earlier in the bullpen.
Okay.
And
this part, I see what you're going to.
Yeah, wake up, Matthew.
Well, you know, Coob didn't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
also, before
the
we get
element
there,
of surprise.
I just want to I just want to get this out there. So, the Castor 1990 got it correct. He is the winner. I love calling when Rob's saying, "Can you guys check your text line at 3:15?" I'm pretty sure got the Mr. Player. You did not, Rob.
Is it who we thought it was? Like the name of the player?
The one
he
Rob
didn't
got, and like so many other people have gone. Trust me, it wasn't taking that long to get that one.
No.
That's where I wanted you to go.
Maddie was trying to be devious, misleading.
In that one way, I was hoping you'd go that way. Ken was the only one. I hate Ken right now. I'll go that far. Because even like the most recent ones I'm getting, it's not there. No one's getting to it. So I just want to throw that out there. Ken has been the only one, but calling with Rob, no, you didn't. You did not get it correct at 3:15. Now we can get into Zach's question that he posed.
Well, Coop, as we often do, we're sitting in the bullpen, and I mean, how can we not talk about Alex Ovechkin? You know, like I said before the break, he's at 892, 3 away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's goal. Now, this is a regular season record, which I can already see is sparking some debate in the nasty chat, and this is something I honestly have never really thought of. So let's talk about it. Coob, before we get to what you said, I just want to read this, okay? Lisa Catola in the nasty chat.
It's not Lisa Catola.
Who's Lisa Catola?
That is my cousin. Oh, well, that's my cousin Andrew using his wife's account. I'm pretty sure that's him. I don't think Lisa cares about Ovi.
Okay. Well, let's just assume it is Lisa.
We're gonna give Lisa the credit for it. Sure,
of
Lisa,
course.
congratulations.
It says Lisa Catola.
Yeah. She's busy with the 2 kids. Well, maybe just the one right now, but yeah, she's in the nasty chat. Good job, Lisa.
Way to go, Lisa. Thoughts on the true NHL goals record being 1,016, playoffs included. Well, who would own that? Wayne Gretzky has gotten the most career goals in the regular season and playoffs with 1,016. What are your thoughts on that, Matty?
It's nothing counts playoffs in that sense. Hockey, we know very much is a team game. It's not an individual game. So the fact that you could be on a team that has a lot better players and you could play more games in the playoffs to give you a few extra goals. I don't think everyone plays the 82, or 84 or 78 as the back in the day. We go regular season awards. These are regular season records. There's its own playoff record. But even like baseball is known for the records. Baseball is always historically that is held dear to that sport more than any other sport, I would say. The home run record is regular season.
Yeah.
It's always regular season. You don't add playoffs into that. So no, I don't have that as the true number.
Well, and I mean, it absolutely makes sense because everybody has the opportunity to play 82 games.
Everyone's playing.
Not everybody has the opportunity to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I like the opportunity for debate, but there's really no debating that. It needs to be the regular season.
There's a merit to it. I do see some merit to that, though, is that like in your career, how many goals did you score?
Well,
playoffs would be part of that. It's why like Wayne Gretzky, it didn't score, or it was 892. He has scored more than 892 NHL goals. Many of those other goals more meaningful than the goals he scored at 892. But that's just how we view the records, and I'm okay with it because it is in the end, it is just straight up. Everyone's playing in the regular season. Everyone plays those games, and playoffs. It's not all equal.
Well said, Coob. What were we talking about earlier?
Well, both European players, Alex Ovechkin and Leon Draisaitl, they have found the back of the net a lot of times in their careers. And Leon Draisaitl is the greatest German hockey player of all time already, and he just continues to step it up another level. Now, it's evident that Alex Ovechkin is going to break the all-time scoring record. No matter what, I mean, there's only 3 goals left until he has or will break it. But the question is, will Leon Draisaitl ever get close enough to even sniff at the record? Or will he break the record at one point in his career? Because he's at 399 right now. 29 years old. He has a lot of time left, a lot of runway to try and break that record. Does he have a chance to do it in his career?
Well, I mean, if you want to look at the numbers of it, okay, because, you know, that was an interesting question, because you just, you know, and what I found looking on this was interesting. The most goals started out as a career minimum of 100 goals. That was where the bar was set originally by the NHL. And Joe Malone had that. He reached that milestone on February 5th, 1921. He then upped the ante in 1923 to 104. But this record has changed hands 8 times currently. And when Alexander Ovechkin breaks it, it'll be the 9th time. So it's not easy to do. Now, Ovechkin is in his 20th season.
Mm-hmm.
He has played 1,485 games, of which he's put 892 pucks in the net. That is a clip of 0.6 goals. It's almost bang on points, like even 0.600 goals per game. Leon, on the other hand, has played 789 games and has registered 399 goals. That is at a clip of 0.51 goals per game. So he is not on pace in his 11th season. Keep in mind, Ovechkin has played 20, and there's no saying as to when he will stop. Leon is not at that clip, the same as Ovechkin.
Leon has to improve his clip, because if not, he needs to play about 1,800 games, probably, if not more. 1,800 games puts him overall in his career for 910 goals. Ovi's not done when he breaks the record. Ovi's got 1 or 2 more years. So it's how much higher is he going to put this record?
Well, prior to Wayne Gretzky, was Gordie Howe at 801, Maurice Richard at 544. So Gretzky broke that record on March 23rd, 1994, and then he scored his 894th goal almost to the day 5 years later for goal number 894. So it's just a matter of how long Ovechkin plays. And it's an interesting question, because is this one of these things where if Ovechkin plays 2 more years, okay, obviously he's not going to be scoring at, probably it's going to decline. But what do you think he can top out at? Let's just assume he's going to play 2 more years. Do you think he can get to... It surely gets to 960, 950, 960.
If he had played a whole season this year, if he didn't get that little bit of an injury, he would be on pace for 50 goals.
Like the broken leg?
He'd get 50. He'd have 50 goals. I'd say, I don't know how much down that you would go. I think you could probably say he's probably going to have 30 to 35 goals. Let's say 30, so that's 60 more goals.
Might I add that including playoffs, right? Gretzky is at 1,016 goals. Ovechkin right now is at 964. So he could bump that record as well, if you're looking at it in that way, right?
You're probably, I think you're looking at probably around 940.
Yeah, I think you could safely say that. I mean, it depends how high he would go this year. Right now, they've got 6 games or 7 games left. Yeah, 7. They played tonight. He's a hat trick away. So let's say he scores 5 more goals this season. I mean, or I guess if you're looking at, 7 games, it'd probably be about 4.5. Let's say 5 more goals this year. He's going to end the year around 897. So yeah, if you could say he put in 25 pucks a year for the next 2 years, he could probably get to that 940.
Leon would have to stay at the pace he's at for 12 more seasons almost.
At this year's pace or his career pace?
His career pace.
Okay.
At his career pace, he'd have to stay at that for another 12 more seasons, which isn't out of the question for the length of time. Because at 29, 12 more seasons, you're only putting that at 41. And with with health and the sports science and everything behind athletes, we're seeing more athletes play longer and at a high level than we've ever seen before. And that's only going to get, as we get closer to Leon getting closer to 40, we're just going to know even more. And there's going to be more of that. The question is, can you keep that pace? Which is basically scoring every second game.
I think so. I think Leon could do that. He's seems as though he's only getting better and better every game, every year. So you're going to, who knows what the peak is for Leon Draisaitl at this point. Interesting question. And we did talk about this earlier in the show, but Sarixo in the Nasty Chat says, Oilers like to lose to the worst teams. Comments. And that's what I was talking about earlier, of how they have this great capability of playing down to teams. Look no further than losing 6-2 to Anaheim, losing to Buffalo 3-2, dropping against the Kraken 6-1.
But that doesn't. But that's you said. Is it a statement game to get past that for the playoffs? It doesn't. I don't care if they lose. It doesn't impact their playoffs more than Saturday.
I don't know. I just think that
they're not playing down. There's no below competition in the playoffs to play down to.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying it's important for them to go out and beat the wheels off of San Jose tonight.
And if they
I really do think that.
If they go lose 3-1 to the San Jose Sharks, doesn't change what's going to happen in the playoffs for this team.
I don't know. I just
because even the same, like what you said with the Kings, they could say we don't have all these other players with us. We don't have McDavid. We don't have Ekholm. We don't have Stuart Skinner.
Which makes it more important to do it now as this team who's playing some good hockey.
Or you could sit there and just be like, well, when those guys are back, we would have beaten this team. No one has still gotten it outside of Ken. I just want to throw that out there. Because even 10-, Matty didn't try to trick everyone and go with Brian Sakic instead of Joe, did he? No.
So you just said who it was.
Well, I said who it isn't.
Grumpy Cat in the EST, the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Ray Ferraro pointed out that Howe held the record for 31 years before Gretzky broke it. If Ovechkin gets it this year, it'll be another 31 years again. Hashtag poetry. Sonny D makes a very good point. Imagine if Gretzky got to play with the overtime rules that are now in effect.
The 3-on-3?
Yeah. Interesting point.
Gretzky got to play with goalies with less pads.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to give Gretzky any sort of benefit of the doubt for more goals. He played in a very beneficial era for scoring goals. Now, the one reason I will give him credit, though, is he was much better than everyone else in that era. Like, it wasn't even close in that sense. But I don't need to give him, like, oh, imagine if he had these rules. Imagine what Ovi could have done in that era.
Oh, Redbeard has chimed in on the William Huff off-topic. Redbeard's beer bus. You kind of said this earlier, too. You did say a beer truck. I would convert an old school bus with keg taps sticking out of the side. That would be cool. I would like that. And this cereal idea has got traction. Andrea from Calgary says, regarding Scott's cereal food truck, Captain Crunch coated chicken fingers were a huge thing at the pub near campus when I was undergrad. So delicious. Captain Crunch. I've never
had Captain Crunch?
I've never had Captain Crunch. I've never had Lucky Charms.
Really?
I've never had
not the same as it used to
what
be.
are those chocolate puffy things?
Cocoa Puffs?
Cocoa Puff? I've never had them.
Trix?
Honeycomb.
Trix?
Nope, never had it.
Honeycomb?
You're like a life cereal kind of dude?
No, we were a big cornflakes, Frosted Flakes family.
Yeah.
We were big cornflakes.
Rice Krispies?
Fruit Loops.
Rice Krispies, not so much. Honeycomb was about as creative as we got at the grocery store in the Milne household. We were big oatmeal for breakfast kind of guy. You know, you make that nice bowl of oatmeal, a little bit of milk in there, some brown sugar. Lovely.
Me too. But some of those cereals you missed out. I say go buy one of them.
Well,
not Lucky Charms.
Yeah, you know what? I wish we had fired up. You know what? Tomorrow we're going to have fired up. And I'm fired up already.
What did I do?
You know what you did.
I don't.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow when we fire it up.
Can I go with another clue since we're just trying to get through these?
Sure.
We had Burnaby, we had 19, we had left shot, we had captain. There's your fourth clue, captain. There's one guy. No one else is even close to the cent. I'll put that out there. I don't care.
And it is interesting, these OV odds as to where and when he will score that goal.
You know what goal's going to be the harder one to score out of all of them?
What?
The tying one.
Well, you said something funny today.
It'll be harder to score the tying one than the breaking one, in my opinion. I think once he gets the tying one, the breaking one will come a lot quicker.
I hope he doesn't score it until the last game of the season.
I said it'll happen
next year. Penguins.
Sorry, I misspoke. They don't play tonight. They're at home taking on the Blackhawks tomorrow. Then they go to New York, and then Carolina comes into town. So it probably should happen in the next 3 games, I would imagine, if I was a betting man. But I think the Blue Jackets had the best odds because they have a back-to-back Saturday-Sunday game, the 12th and the 13th. So anyways, we will get after it here for Buying or Selling with Damon Bunting after the break. You are listening to the Reid Wilkins Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. It's time for the Sports Update Deliverer, Coob.
The Oilers have 3 games on the road in Cali. Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch saying that Mattias Ekholm, Stuart Skinner, or John Klingberg will not join them on the trip. And Kelvin Pickard starts for Edmonton as they play the Sharks tonight, looking for 4 straight wins. Join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show at 7:30. Only here on EST. Elsewhere, Kings and Hockey Club face off. Ducks battle the Flames, while the Sens meet the Lightning on a 9-game slate. And just 1 game in the WHL playoffs. Chiefs lead the Giants 2-1, entering Game 4 of their series. In the NFL, Trey McBride has signed a 4-year contract worth $76 million to stay in Arizona, becoming the highest paid tight end in NFL history. Elsewhere, Geno Smith has signed a 2-year deal with the Raiders worth over $85.5 million. On the court, it's Raptors, Trailblazers, while the Magic battle the Wizards, and the Warriors and Lakers have a date with 6 games on tap. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting brings us back here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. Learn more about safety supervision, scheduling, cost control, and most importantly, how to lead a team. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
We are back on a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Edmonton. It looks like we're in for some good weather this weekend. You are joining us on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your crystal clear choice for Edmonton sports. I am joined by my guest co-host and boss, Matthew Iwanyk.
6 degrees tomorrow, sunny. 12 on Saturday. 9 on Sunday. Sunny all 3 days, according to Environment Canada.
We'll be golfing in no time. We're going to be ripping it up at the Garrison. Probably head out to the ranch.
Next weekend is Masters.
Golly. Matt, we need to drive the thumbs.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
If you have not clicked the thumbs up, we're on pace. We're doing good. We're ready to hone in on
86 likes.
Yeah, we
need 130.
Yeah, we need 130 for the word of the day, Matt, which Matthew has been working on diligently all afternoon.
It's harder than I expected.
It really is. Thank you for saying that. It's fine. It's good that somebody finally realized how hard it is to do what I do.
Like, there's a lot of easy words out there.
But sometimes it's not necessarily that you want to find the most difficult word. I mean, sometimes I want to just have a word of the day that people have heard, but maybe they don't know how to use. This is a learning thing, Matt. We're here to teach.
I like it.
We're here to understand as a team, us and the Nasties. It is time for buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on damonbunting.com or his Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. Okay, we're going to go to last night in the NHL as Carolina Hurricanes were taking on Washington, and I know this has been talked about on our shows, but I wanted to have my take on it. If you haven't seen, and if you are watching on YouTube, a reminder, smash that thumbs up. Coop's going to roll this video. This is Jalen Chatfield in a fight with Connor McMichael. At the end of the fight, Chatfield, I mean, what did you call that? A takedown?
A slew foot takedown. It's
a slew foot takedown.
There's a slew foot and a takedown in there.
And the question here, it was a very aggressive takedown at the end. Natty, I want to know, because here's the fallout from it. There was no further, I guess there was no suspension.
There was no supplemental discipline.
Right. So the question, and I know that this is not in the NHL rule book. This is not a rule that was broken. Now, I think this is a bit of an unwritten rule or somewhat of a code to fighting. But then I heard Cass on Two Guys and a Goalie say there's nothing wrong with that. Now, I will say that the game and particularly player safety has changed a lot since Cassian played, and he knows that.
Yep.
Particularly in this incident, there was no helmets on either of these players. If Connor McMichael, slams his head on the ice, and you have a stoppage in the game because there's blood on the ice, thankfully this did not happen. I'm just playing a little bit of what if here. If that were the case and he were injured, do you think there would have been supplemental discipline? Are you buying or selling that?
Yeah, buying. The NHL does often, we've seen, they suspend based on the result of a play injury. If something is suspendable, players generally will get a little bit more if the player's out, as opposed to if they came back to the game right away even. I'm buying fully that there would have been some sort of supplemental discipline from the National Hockey League if that was worse. I would be surprised if the NHL doesn't add to their rule book to try to prevent that from happening again. I understand why they didn't do it. I'm not saying they should have done it. It does look like a dirty play. The slew foot, to me, part of that with no helmet on looks bad. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something of, I don't know how the lawyers speak would have to be, but if helmets are off, you can't suplex a guy onto the ice. Because that had the potential of being a disaster.
Very much so. But here's the thing. A slew foot in the middle of a game, in between the whistles, is a suspendable, finable offense, is it not?
Well, yeah.
An aggressive one? So why does that change during a fight?
Because you're now willing combatants fighting and stuff. So I guess it's open. Yeah, I can't just go up to a player and punch him in the face in the middle of a game too. It's until, okay, now we're agreeing to fight. Here we go. I could get suspended for punching a guy. But if you're going to be fighting, now it's part of the fight. That's why I could see why the NHL would look at this in separate ways. Yes, on the ice, it's a slew foot. There's more of an intent to injure. Here, it's, well, you guys are two combatants, drop in the mitts. Things happen.
Well, and the fact of the matter is that a week from today, on April 10th, will be my wife's birthday, the Hurricanes are playing the Capitals again. So there is the old adage, well, you may not, take a number and remember that next time.
It's funny you say, though, that, well, not Cass saying that he doesn't say anything wrong with that, because also the guy in charge of player safety is George Peros, who was an enforcer himself.
I just think it's just not in the best interest of the game. The fighting has become limited and almost unnecessary.
It's at its lowest in history of the amount of fights per game.
But, I mean, okay, for me, if I'm watching a game and a fight breaks out, I'm in it. I'm ready to watch that. I'm not at all trying to say here, this is the result of allowing fighting. I think this was unnecessary. And even McMichael, when he got, and McMichael's not a fighter. This is not an enforcer. He was surprised and quite angry when he got up off the ice that had happened. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the game next Thursday when they have a rematch. I would imagine something will happen. Now, okay, let me ask you this then. Are you buying or selling that the NHL will adapt or change a rule that would make this, next season something that would be suspendable?
I'm buying some sort of amendment. It's coming. Yes. 100%. Yeah. Do I get to give mine now?
Oh yeah, this is the one. Okay, get into it because I want to do this live.
So last year on the Hangout, we came across this on Cool Bet on the CFL futures. They had team wins loss over unders, and I've been paying attention to Cool Bet, wondering when are they going to throw those up there? When are they going to put those lines up there? And I looked 2 days ago. There wasn't. It was just Grey Cup odds. The Edmonton Elks plus 1150 to win the Grey Cup. Today they're up. Win totals for every team are up. Calgary Stampeders over 6.5. Montreal Alouettes over 10.5. Toronto Argonauts 11. Ottawa Redblacks 10. Winnipeg Blue Bombers 10. Saskatchewan Roughriders 10. Hamilton Tiger Cats 8.5. BC Lions 9.5. The Edmonton Elks, they're over under on the season. According to CoolBet, for the regular season wins, it is set at 8.0. Buying or selling, basically buying is over, selling is under. 8 wins for the Edmonton Elks this season. Or over 8 wins for the Edmonton Elks this season. Buying or selling?
What do you think? What do you think I'm going to say?
You're buying it.
I'm buying that all day. I would have bought it at 9.
I'm surprised it's in at 8. Last year was 6.5.
6.5 and
they finished with 7.
The Glue Crew snuck by the hair on our chinny chin to get that.
Yes.
They got to 7 wins, so that was a huge last game. Everybody that rode with me last year, I will tell you this confidently.
You in
VR?
Well, you guys were both, the two of you were together.
Yes, we were there together, and it didn't look good, and then it happened. I have my CoolBet account open on my computer, on my laptop. I have just placed a substantial wager on
Same as
the
last year?
Edmonton Elks. Yes. Regular season wins over under 8. I have taken the over at -112, over 8. Who's riding with me?
VR, buy. Big Uke, hammer the over. Mike, the Michigan fan, I'll throw in with you on the over.
Yeah, so you're technically buying it at 9, Jay. If they end up with a tie, with an 8, it's a push. Well, in my world of gambling, if a push is a win, essentially.
You get your money back.
You get your money back.
You're without the money now.
Yeah, I am without it now.
So if you get it back,
it's a win.
Yeah.
It's not as much of a win, but Spency 5 cents, he was in on it. I know VR. I think the big dog, Big Uke's going to be in on it. Obviously, Mike, the Michigan fan. Let's ride.
We went through the schedule a bit ago.
Let's go through it again.
So here's the Elks schedule.
Because when we did it, we thought they could get to 10. That was the number.
I think you had 11.
What?
Okay. I think you almost had 11. I had 10. I think you had 11. They start in BC.
Yeah, and honestly, Matt, this is the thing. This is such a different team, right? Justin Rankin was ranked as the number 2 running back to look, breakout season or whatever you want to call it. It was listed as the number 2 running back in the CFL. His line has been upgraded. He's got David Beard on that O-line now. Okay? He's got Trey Ford that's going to open up a lot more of the run game. Having a running quarterback and having that spread out offense. Oh, what?
It's still Javon Leake.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay, but NBC game 1.
NBC game 1.
I'll give him a loss.
I'll give him an L. Sure.
Okay. Home to Montreal week 3.
Hang on. So L at BC.
Home to Montreal week 3. I'm giving them the dub.
Okay.
In Winnipeg week 4.
Give him a loss.
I'll give him an L. Home to Ottawa week 5. I'm taking the dub.
Yeah, that's a dub. So we're 2-2.
Home to BC week 6. I'm taking a dub. They've already lost to BC. They're picking up this win.
3-2.
In Saskatchewan, Trey Ford owns Saskatchewan. I'm giving them the win.
Okay, I would probably give them. I'll give them the win because they're going to be rolling. 4-2.
Home to Hamilton.
5-2.
In Montreal.
5-3.
Yep. Home to Toronto.
5-4.
Okay. In Ottawa.
6-4.
Labor Day series, Calgary.
8-4.
In Toronto. You already have them losing at home to Toronto.
8-5.
You have another loss?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I ain't worried.
In Hamilton. That's a win.
9-5.
Home to Saskatchewan.
10-5.
Home to Winnipeg.
10-6.
In BC.
10-7.
Home to Calgary.
11-7. There it is, folks.
We even got 11 wins again.
Boom. That's what we did before. That is it.
Place my over bet right there. What he says. And with that, like I'll say, like there's certain spots. The Elks, do they only play Saskatchewan twice in that? We have them sweeping, but they don't.
No, I gave him a loss. I thought I gave him a loss. I mean, hey, either way, you've got 2 games to work with.
You also have there's that, and then also you have them losing both to Toronto.
Yes,
like there's a little bit of movement,
and I do have them sweeping Calgary.
Yeah, which maybe
might be a little aggressive, but even if we reverse one of those, it's 10-8.
Yeah,
I really like the over on the.
We have them going 1-2 to start.
Are you riding with me?
I don't have money in my cool bet account right now. All that money is still that betting stuff for golf that me, you, and Reid are supposed to do.
Yeah, we haven't done.
We should,
Masters
next week.
We're
doing that next.
Masters week.
We could put a bunch in that one.
Oh yeah, we'll have to. Okay, if you are riding with me, head over to coolbet.
Grumpy Cat wanted the odds on it. They have it at minus 112 for over and under. So a $50 bet, let's say, it's $44.64.
It's good money. It's good money. Okay, we are going to get out because we have the one, the only, the legendary. Oh, you have to give your fifth.
I'll do it once Tom's on.
Okay, we're going to do it with Tom.
I'll bring all 5 to Tom.
Yeah, could get the mystery athlete
and
in
then
the game.
I'll give it, and then we'll let the segment with Tom go, and then we'll see if anyone else could get it. Ken's the only one.
Okay. Tom Gazzola is going to join us here next on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports Talk. Coob, you know what to do.
The EST Hangout.
Do not let the Sharks linger. I thought Pickard should start. And there are people who feel like this would be a perfect time for Ollie Rodrigue to get his first NHL start. I don't think the situation is great for that. I think you just want to go in there, have a very thorough performance, and beat the wheels off the Sharks.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Make beer cheap again at the Canadian Brewhouse. Grab an ice-cold Molson Canadian Stein for just $4.50. That's 25% off. Monday to Friday, open until 7 p.m. Why wait? Grab your crew and make the most of this awesome deal while it lasts.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc, we're the experts you need to know.
Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch has confirmed that Stuart Skinner, Matthias Ekholm, and John Klingberg will not join the team during their current road trip, with the Oilers having 3 games in Cali. And tonight, it's the Oilers visiting the Shark Tank. Calvin Pickard gets a start. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas teeing up the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show at 7:30 right here on EST. 8 other games around the league. 2 games get underway in just a moment. Sens and Lightning go at it, while the Bruins look to avoid 10 straight losses when they face the Canadiens in the lone WHL playoff matchup sees Vancouver looking to tie their series at 2 apiece with Spokane in Game 4. And down south, Trey McBride is now the highest paid tight end in NFL history, signing a 4-year, $76 million contract with the Cardinals, worth an average salary of $19 million. Meanwhile, Geno Smith and the Raiders have agreed to a 2-year, $85.5 million deal, with Smith having 4,300 yards last season and recording 21 touchdowns for the Seahawks. In the association, Toronto plays Portland. 2 games start momentarily. The Bucks meet the 76ers, and the Wizards duke it out against the Magic. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
We are back. This is the Reid Wilkins Show with me, Jay Milne, alongside my boss, and Matthew. I will say this, and a really good friend, Matthew Iwanyk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
I
a
bet
good
you.
friend to me too.
I bet you'd come over for a sleepover.
I don't know what's up with Reid on that.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
He said, well, even after you've talked about this on the show.
Oh, plenty of times.
Way up, like, in the end, he's like, when would I ever have a sleepover?
Yeah, it's fire night, campfire night.
Well, you could come out to your place and you just be responsible. You could have a few bevies and then you just spend the night, have a sleepover and watch a movie.
Yeah, he gets real salty about that.
And I'm prickly one.
Yeah. We'll get him one time. Rip City Step. We roll with Glue Crew over. I appreciate that. You are listening to the Reid Wilkins Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports Talk. We are coming to you live from the Canadian Brewhouse Studio. The Wing Flavor of the Month showdown continues at the Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Flavors of the Month, Dillionaire Sauce versus Passion Fruit Habanero. Cool versus fiery. Who will reign supreme? Come taste the madness at the Canadian Brewhouse. And with that, we are joined by somebody who doesn't refer to himself as a big deal. Tommy Gazzola is in the house. Round of clicks for Tommy Gazzola.
Thank you, Jay. You're doing great work, by the way, filling in for Reid. And Matthew has been a pleasant surprise as a co-host. Actually, no, he's really good. I'm kidding. Matthew's been great.
Tommy,
Thank you for that, Tom.
Tommy, how are you doing today? How's your day been going? You do
pretty good.
You get an activation in?
I just came back from an activation.
Did you? What were you working?
Yeah.
The glutes?
Chest. Today's chest, Jay. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice and quiet at the gym today, actually. And it gets busier around this time. Obviously, people getting off work, but a very satisfying activation. I have said to myself, I will be 40 years old at the end of September. So I want to get my ass in gear. So I've tried to stay true to that.
Mystery player. One person has got it. Jay thought someone would get it right away. One person did on the second try.
I was
You were
right.
But no one else has been able to get this. And everyone keeps guessing like they're not going off their guess. So I haven't told people what the answer is yet. And we haven't given the fifth clue. So I'm going to try this with you, Tommy. I'm going to give you all five clues, see if you can get this one. Clue 1 is Burnaby.
Yeah.
Clue 2 is 19.
Any guesses come to mind right away?
Yeah, but I feel like this is a bit of a deviation and trick.
Smart.
Number 3 is left shot.
Okay, you're playing some kind of trick here.
Number 4 is captain. Any guesses?
Yeah, but like...
Well, say what your guess is.
I know that Maddie wanted to make it... Like, I heard him earlier. I was listening during the activation, and you didn't... I got the premise that you didn't want to make it as difficult as it usually is. Did I hear that correctly?
Why? I didn't want to be Reid. That's all I said.
Yeah.
That's all I said.
Because it could be pretty tricky. Like, automatically, Joe Sakic comes to mind.
Right. And that was a very professional veteran move by Matthew Iwanyk to intentionally mislead. Like, you should have seen the River Cree inbox. People were like, dude, I got this right at 324. Like,
Brent, if it's Joe Sakic, I guessed that at 316.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Joe Sakic, so I'm glad you guessed it at 316.
Right.
The fifth clue is football.
Oh.
Or some people say...
No, don't say anything. I said football. The clue is football. Nacho Man is saying Nuge. It is not Nuge. I'll throw that out there.
Nuge was the big one,
do you have
too.
any new guesses for this?
Okay,
and then otherwise,
so
I'm not giving the
19
answer away until after this segment because I want to see if anyone else will get this.
Burnaby captain. Did you say left-handed?
Left shot.
Burnaby
shot. 19, left shot, captain, and football.
Oh.
If you don't have a guess, we'll wait till the end of the segment.
Yeah, I'm stumped. That's a good one.
It was a good one.
Good misdirection.
Tommy, you've got, along with your colleague Hernan Salas, you guys are going to be tackling the GCL Diesel pregame show. The Oil Stream pregame show. That kicks off at 7:30 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, this is, I feel like this is one of these games, and I've been saying it today. I said to Matt, and let me ask you, is this a game that you feel is more important to this team to get the W versus the lowly San Jose Sharks as opposed to when they go to LA on Saturday afternoon?
Ooh, the LA game, the LA games, I should say, but Saturdays, since we're honing in on it, is more important, no question. But that's not to discount tonight, Jay. I think tonight, like, just go in and take over, steamroll them.
Yeah.
Give it its due attention and respect, and then just take care of business. That's how I look at it. It's not a formality. Don't play down to their level. Don't allow that to happen. because this Oilers team, and I saw some texts earlier in the day in the nasty chat when I was watching saying, oh, the Oilers never play down to the opposition's level. And those texters were right. And they're being facetious, but because the Oilers do play down to the opposition's level. So they were right in saying that, and they are right to have doubts. So that's why I'm saying tonight, and I've said this the last couple of days, just go out there and beat the wheels off San Jose. No mercy. If you're up 5-0 after the second period, maybe lay off the gas a little bit, but that's it. Like, don't even allow or flirt with the idea of San Jose being in this game. Just don't. Assert yourself. It's that time of year. They're mopping up. They'd love nothing to be a thorn in your side, but they're playing loose. Go and take the game. And that's why I think there is value to tonight, plus bank a couple of points in this race for home ice against LA, and then refocus for what is a more important game on Saturday. That's how I observe this situation.
Chris Knobloch, he confirmed Ekholm, Skinner, and John Klingberg, they're not joining the team on this trip. Surprise you at all?
A little bit, because a little bit, because maybe the Vegas win set the tone, and the desperation to get those guys in isn't there, and they say, okay, we see how the playoff picture is forming. We can allow those guys who are important players to continue to rest and take an extra couple of days. I'm assuming that has something to do with it. But yeah, if there was an urgency to get these guys into the lineup by, let's say, Saturday, then I would have assumed maybe they would fly them in. But I am a little bit surprised. I thought they'd have those guys join up for a couple of days and get back into the swing of things. But perhaps there's an idea in their mind that things are going okay. Let's ride it out with the crew that we have. And maybe that maybe that Vegas win kind of opened the gates to that possibility, and they're taking advantage. Hey, at the end of the day, if they keep winning with this group, and it does allow those guys to rest up and be more ready and in better health for the playoffs, great. This is something I think that maybe it's a lesson that the Oilers had learned in years previous. Don't go balls to the wall to the end if you don't have to. Be ready for the playoffs so you have the horses and the lung capacity to finish strong and be healthy at the end when that nice big silver trophy's lifted.
We talked about it yesterday, Tommy, and I although I don't know if this would happen, but is there a part of you that thinks that maybe this organization and this team might just go ahead and shut Connor McDavid down for the remainder of the regular season? I mean, it's locked in place. I mean, barring an extreme, a very low probability chance of, somebody getting hot and catching Vegas. I mean, it's pretty clear it's going to be LA and Edmonton in the first round.
Yeah.
Who has home ice to be determined. But would you not just say, look, this is not important. We've been there, done that. Just sit out the rest of the regular season, or do you think that Connor McDavid will play before the end of the regular season?
Yeah, depending on the severity of whatever he's dealing with, I think he will want to play. We saw that in the preseason where he said he wanted to play. What did he play? 4 or 5 out of the 8 preseason games, and it was because he wanted to. I think this is the same type of scenario. I look at that last week. I'm guessing he'd want to play against the Jets and the Kings. Maybe he takes that game to wrap up the season against San Jose in San Jose on the 16th off. But I do think he would probably want to play a couple of games here, Jay. That's my assessment. I assume we're going to see him play like 3 or 4 games by the end of the year. But the reason why we wouldn't is that he feels he needs his body to heal. But if he feels he's good enough to go, then I think we're going to see him in a few games.
Okay, we were discussing a little bit earlier in the 4 o'clock. Ovi's 3 away from the record, 2 from tying, 3 from getting there. Do you think there's a chance that 10 years from now we're talking about Leon Draisaitl in the chase and we're having to watch to see if he's catching Ovi? Like, where would you put it at that Leon could maybe one day be there as the guy knocking on the door to take the record away from Alex Ovechkin?
I'd like to see that. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be awesome, especially if he was still an Oiler and still producing at that level. I'd probably put it at like 35, 40%.
That's pretty high.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty
optimistic.
high.
Yeah, and Leon, it has enough of that FU attitude that if you tell him one thing, he'll show you. He'll be like, F you, I'll go and prove you wrong. Now, if he has a Stanley Cup or two and feels like his body of work is complete and there's not much left to prove and he's not really in the vicinity of the soon-to-be Ovechkin goals record, then no, I think he probably just shuts it down and enjoys his life off the coast of Spain in his villa. But if he has that desire and his body holds up and he has been very, very sturdy and doesn't miss many games, then like 35, 40%. But I'd like it. 35, 40% chance it happens, and it depends on how his body's holding up and his production level and what motivates him. And I think if he's still chasing a Stanley Cup and he's getting in the vicinity of making it an interesting conversation, then I think he'd hang around. But guys, and here's the other thing too, is I wouldn't put it past Ovechkin to try to go for 1,000 goals.
Well, I was going to ask that, like, how far do we think Ove can actually take this record, though?
I think he wants to keep going. Like he's going to be 40 at the beginning of September. I don't know. I mean, he's playing well. If he's having fun and the team's good, keep going. I think that's probably what he'll do. And if he has another strong year next year where he pots another 40, go till you score 1,000, man. That would be amazing. Just catching Gretzky, soon to pass him, amazing. Getting to 900 will be a chef's kiss. And then 1,000, is the unthinkable. So I think that does tantalize him. I think there'd be an appetite from him, kind of listening to him and hearing from people that know him, the type of person he is. I think 1,000 would be a good motivator. So, all that conversation about Leon Draisaitl we just had might be moot point because I know we thought 894 was something that would never be done, but 1,000, good luck.
Tommy, our off-topic topic today was a spicy one. For William Huff, if you could open a food truck, okay, what would it be called, and what would be your specialty?
I love paninis, guys.
Oh, paninis.
I love paninis, and you can do so much with paninis. You could do them on ciabatta, focaccia. You could do them on torpedo buns. You could put many
Tom,
things.
A panini is just a pressed grilled sandwich. Is that correct?
Pretty much. I mean, the ones at Italian Center, they call panini. That's like Italian for sandwich. But like, I'm talking the grilled panini. You get it hot. You get all kinds of veggie options. There's all kinds of assortments of meats that you could do. I would like paninis. And then also I love coffee. So maybe a little cappuccino, some kind of nice gourmet roast that you can also do. You always have the standard like pop and water and stuff because that's just easy to fill a fridge with. And then like there's always got to be that kind of like side that you can add in there with your paninis. Kettle chips are always great.
Kettle chips from the top rope.
Yeah, kettle chips are fantastic. Something like that.
You could do something like deep fried, like pickle spears or something. Something light.
Deep fried. I like frickles.
Yes, frickles.
Fried pickles, and you can get them at Brew House and Ice House, and they're fantastic. So. I like that kind of stuff.
What would it be called, though, Tom?
Well, I've got some suggestions from ChatGPT.
Good for you. Good job.
For a panini, it's a food truck named for paninis with Tom. Yeah. So I'll go with the highlights until I go with the very first one, which I think is a true winner. Panini Pit by Tom.
Ooh.
Okay.
Tom's Panini Express. Tom's Hot Press. Panini Time with Tom. Tom's Panini Station. Tom's Pressed Perfection. But this is, I think, the winner.
Okay.
Tom's Toasty Paninis.
Tom's Toasty Paninis.
That's pretty good.
I
Triple
like that.
T.
You're making
or the double T with the P.
You're making me hungry for a panino.
A little bit of alliteration. My mouth is watering. I'd go with that one, Maddie. And then the other one, this one, like, you know how you can come up with ridiculous names? I would do something stupid like Tommy Gino's Paninos.
Nice. I like that.
It kind of ties into my name, but not really. But I like the Tommy's Toasty Panini. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, I had a food truck called Just Wing It, and it was strictly wings. That's it.
Yes.
Don't ask for anything else. Just wings with an assortment of flavors. Not too many.
But no boneless.
No boneless. We're going chicken wings.
Yes.
Matthew, yours was I forget the name. But
Nacho Average Truck.
Nacho Average Truck.
That's pretty good, too. That's clever.
Chat GTP on that one.
Tommy, who do you got coming up tonight on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show?
Curtis Pashelka from the Mercury News. He's covered the Sharks for a couple decades now. He's great. It's not a team of high intrigue outside of Celebrini and Smith. I think we're going to see Georgi Romanov in net. So he did face the Oilers briefly in one of those games, in the only game the Oilers faced San Jose so far this year. And so we're going to learn about Georgi and then maybe about how Celebrini and Smith are going to be the next wave of this San Jose franchise when it finally gets back to relevancy. But right now, they suck. So, Curtis will be on. Cass as well for Game Changers. And we're going to hear Hernan complain about how late this game is for the entirety of the pre- and post game.
I don't blame him. I mean, it's late. I mean, I told my wife today, I'm like, well, it is an 8:30 game. So I'll be up till midnight.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine for you guys, you probably don't get home till 1:00.
Yep, probably. But I'm used to it. I like it.
You're used to it.
Yes, playoffs
It's fine.
Playoffs are coming, brah.
Playoffs are coming, brah.
Yeah,
if you want to see this beautiful face of Tommy, the Panino Man, Gazzola, tune in. 7:30 is the start time for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show. Tommy, you're a beauty. Thank you for joining us today, and have a great show.
Thanks for having me, boys. Great stuff. Lots of fun.
Would you like the answer?
Oh, well, no. We got to work on something here, Matt. We got to work on our thumbs. We got to get those thumbs going. We are on pace. We can do this. We need to get to 130.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
We're at a good pace.
We will be back after the break with the game of the night for Play More Tables and Games, and then we'll be joined by Brian Rode from Marmot Basin. You are listening to Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Coob, take it away.
Three more games on the road for the Oilers. Head coach Chris Knobloch confirming that Stuart Skinner, Matthias Ekholm, and John Klingberg will not join the team during their California swing. You can tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they preview the action live at 7:30 right here on EST. 8 other games are on the league. Right now, 2 games are scoreless. Boston and Montreal facing off, while Tampa Bay and Ottawa duke it out. On the court, Toronto tips off against Portland. 3 games are live early in the first. Magic leading the Wizards 14-7. Bucks trailing the 76ers 15-6 with both of those early in the first. And 2 major deals in the NFL. Geno Smith signing a 2-year contract worth $85 million with the Raiders, while Arizona extends Trey McBride on a 4-year, $76 million extension, making him the highest paid tight end in NFL history. Baseball sees just 1 game live. The D-backs are down 3-0 to the Yankees at the bottom of the first. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. The show rolls on once we get back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Bruce Boudreau coming up. The Edmonton Oilers are coming off a win against Vegas. They go into San Jose tonight.
They stink.
As a coach, how do you make sure that this isn't a trap game?
You don't want to sit there and take life easy. This is a time when it's important to be consistently good. If you do take it easy, they can sometimes once every 2 months, come up and bite you.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Missing the course? The Canadian Ice House is here to keep your skills sharp. Trackman golf simulators are open. Real golf action right in downtown Edmonton. Don't let the off-season slow you down. Visit us in-store or check out thecanadianicehouse.com for all the details.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the East LA rock and roll legend with the world sound Los Lobos at the River Cree Resort and Casino May 15th.
Don't worry, baby, what the world may bring. Well, don't worry, baby.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. Fear not. Reid will be back on Monday, and everything will be just fine. The thumbs have been thumbing, Matthew. We are a mere 7 thumbs away from getting to Word of the Day territory. You're not going to want to miss this. Matthew's going to present me with a word. Is that and that's it, right? I'm not going to ask you one. It's just single word territory.
Well, we're not a double word.
We're getting there. If you haven't clicked, let's have a late rush here. Click that thumbs up and let's get into Word of the Day territory. Matthew, did you want to get to anything?
2 things. We need to announce what Ken got right, mystery player. In the end, once that 5th clue came, 3 other people would have got it right if Ken didn't get it right earlier. It did take till the end. A couple people did get it. A lot of people guessing Christine Sinclair.
Well, most people were guessing, as we alluded to, Joe Sakic.
Early.
And
there
then
was a lot of Joe Sakic. And Joe Sakic was like, are you sure it's not Joe? Yes, I'm positive I didn't pick Joe Sakic. I'm positive what. And then it was like, well, if it was Joe Sakic, no. Then there was Nooch. But Burnaby, 19, left shot captain. They all did work for Christine Sinclair, and football was the 5th clue. Christine Sinclair, though, was right shot, not left shot.
Okay, so go through each clue and say why it pertains to this player.
It was Alphonso Davies. It was our boy Alphonso Davies. We got to 130?
No, just
for Alphonso. We're at 129. We're close. When he was with the Vancouver Whitecaps, he attended Burnaby Central Secondary School as part of their residency program. So there's Burnaby. He does wear number 19. He is a left shot. He is a with the left shot. He's captain of the Canadian men's national team, which today reached its highest ranking ever in the FIFA rankings at number 30. And he plays football. Joe Sakic was a great name. I thought a lot of people go Joe Sakic. I didn't see Christine Sinclair. A lot of people came in and got Christine Sinclair. But if it wasn't for Ken, I would have went the distance. One person screwed me.
All those guesses came in on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. I will not take you to that.
I will remember that, Ken.
I'm just going with me, my wife, and we're going to eat brunch. That's $6.99. That's very, very good. We're going to get to our game of the night eventually. But first, we're going to go ahead and welcome in Brian Rode from Marmot Basin, the VP of Sales and Marketing up there on the hill. Brian, how the heck are you today?
Yeah, doing great today. Boy, it is a sunny day here. What a change in weather we've had in the last week from some blustery days with a lot of snow. And today it's just bluebird out there. It's gorgeous.
Brian, as you know, I was up there recently, and we didn't get a chance to cross paths, but your staff is lovely. I love that hill. My kids were just talking the whole way because we go to other resorts. We ski. We like to ski. And Marmot Basin has it all covered. So congrats to you guys. That was it. It'd been last year we went, and I don't know if I told you this or not, but it was so windy. This is last year. This is the 2024 season. It was so windy that the lifts were shut down. The only lift that was open was essentially the elongated bunny run. But Marmot Basin stepped up and they said, hey, you know what? We can't control this. So go ahead and use the bunny hill if you want, because it's a huge bunny hill. Like, it's a run in itself. So you can, if you have kids, they would enjoy that. But then they said, come down to the ticket office at the end of the day. And they gave us all passes back. And it wasn't, so then you're thinking, okay, they're gonna give us these passes, but we got to use them this year before April 28th or April 30th. No, they're good for 10 years. So kudos to Marmot. You guys do it right. You do it well. Brian, we were on our last run of the day. Now, last runs of the days are usually trouble zone, as you probably know.
It can be, yeah.
It can be. This one worked out pretty well, but my wife had went back to the truck. She said, I'm good. I'll meet you guys at the bottom of the hill. It worked out great. So I was with my 3 daughters. So we went all the way up, and then we came down to the Eagle Ridge quad chair, and I wanted to take them up there and make our last run longer. Well, as you know, there's a pretty interesting tree that presents itself on the Eagle Ridge quad chair. And, I was taking in the beauty, looking to my right, and my daughter said, Dad, what's with all the bras on this tree? And I look, well, sure enough, there had to have been 40 bras on this tree. Brian, we talked about it on the show when I got back, but apparently this is not just, something that happens at Marmot. It happens at other hills. But can you explain the genesis of the bra tree?
Well, no, I can't. I have no idea where it came from, quite frankly. I mean, jeepers, you know what? You're right. Okay, so there's one everywhere. Vail, I know, has a famous one, but they're ubiquitous throughout ski areas. So, broad tree, then there was one on the way up the knob chair, and it was, call it an underwear tree. It had all kinds of things in it. But the trees are usually close enough that when you're going up the lift, people will bring an extra pair with them and get it on the tree. But now the knob chair has changed, so we don't have that tree there anymore. The alignment is a little different. So, I don't know if our customers are going to be clever enough to figure out another tree. And I'm not encouraging it, but yeah, you'll see it at a lot of different ski areas for sure.
What's the conditions of the hill right now? Like you're talking about, nicer weather now, but we here in Edmonton got a lot. What's the conditions like right now out in Marmot?
Yeah, conditions are superb. And, we've said it before, we can get a lot of snow in March and April. We're open until the 4th of May. So, several weeks left. But, just in the last couple of days, another 17 centimeters of snow. And then 4 or 5 days before that, we had about 11. And then we had that big 80 centimeters a couple of weeks ago. So it is in really, really good shape. And Jay, you're right about the wind. We don't get it often because we are in that basin, but when we do get it, it can be strong, like it can be a lot of skiers. And I've seen it. We have on our anemometer, the odd occasion, it's been up to 140, 150 kilometers an hour at night, in the middle of the night. So we can get big winds in the mountains for sure.
Brian, I know we've talked about this throughout the year, but when I was there and I saw the devastation and the destruction from last summer's wildfire, I was speechless. Mm-hmm. You can only see on the news and on social media so much, but until you're there, and particularly the road up to Marmot Basin, it's saddening. Now, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't fathom it. But in town, everything looks like, I was actually at our hotel. I was in the sauna, and here's a guy that works as part of the group that's doing all the reclamation and preparing those lots to be rebuilt. And what have you heard about timelines? I mean, the whole north side of the town of Jasper is gone. But there are a ton of workers there. Like, work is happening all the time on that town. When do you think, or when do you suspect that you're going to see, basements being poured and houses being built?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Everybody's situation is a little bit different depending on when they want to build, when they're ready, how their insurance claims are going. However, that being said, there will be homes that will be ready, I believe, for this fall. Quite a few. So there are a number of people who have got their construction companies set up, and things are going fairly quickly now. Relatively speaking, and especially compared to, the few months before. So we're starting to see a lot of action in town. Everything is starting to get cleaned up quite nicely. They've got the temporary housing pretty much in place now. We need more, but what we've got is getting erected very quickly. So things are starting to chug along pretty quick now, and I'm really hopeful and quite confident we are going to see some homes built and completed by the late fall in Jasper. Certainly not all of them, but a fair chunk.
I'm not much of a skier. I am a golfer. I know when it comes close to the end of golf season, it's one of those with golf courses. They do have a drop dead date, but if the snow comes, season's over. For skiing, what's it like? Like you mentioned, or I forget, May 3rd or whatever it was the end. Do you know that you will go that long, or is there also a point where you may have to, how does it work in the skiing world of how long Marmot will stay open?
Well, kind of the same way it works in the farmer's world in a way, I guess. So we have a really high level of confidence simply because statistically we know that we have the snow going into early May, and often we'll have good skiing conditions right into early June. But of course, we don't stay open that long because people are interested in doing other things by that time. This year, it looks like we didn't have nearly the same snowpack early in the year. We got a lot of snow in March. So as long as the temperatures don't get up there and stay up there, we're going to be in really good shape. I've seen it on the odd year, and I've been there for a lot of years. So just a few years where, you go from -3, -4 every day to all of a sudden it's plus 16, 17 for 2 weeks in a row. That can melt you out, but those are fairly few between.
Brian, we appreciate you joining us. This has been the Marmot Basin Update. We will catch up with you here in the next week. And if you have a chance, get up there. The conditions are fantastic. The pricing is on point, especially if you're going up during the week. So, Brian, thank you for everything, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
That was the Marmot Basin Ski Report. Ski for half price every day with the Marmot Escape Card. Only $99 at skimarmot.com, or get 4 lift tickets for the family for only $329 at skimarmot.com. A great deal for families and only available online. And I'm saying, if you are a skier, get up there. There's nothing
I know
like...
Fraze loves it up there.
Yeah.
Jeff Kershell absolutely loves it at Marmot.
There's nothing like coming home from a 2-3 day ski trip and you got a tan.
You had a nice tan.
Yeah, well, that snow's bright when the sun is shining. When you have those bluebird days, it's toasty. I mean, I was wearing a T-shirt under my shell.
You looked good.
Thanks. You look good too.
You always look good, but
you always look good too, Matt. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's time for I just got to find it here. Where am I, Matt? Help.
You want to get to Game of the Night, brought to you by Play More Tables and Games. Play more tables and games. Get the most of your fan cave.
That's pretty good.
Remember the rest of it.
From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you can ask for. Visit Canada's Game Room Experts, locations in Edmonton and Calgary, or online at www.playmoregames.ca.
Play more tables and games.
Maddie, what are you watching tonight?
I got to take Oilers and Sharks out of this because obviously we're watching Oilers.
Well, that's always a given. I mean,
we're obviously watching Oilers and Sharks. We're watching Oilers and Sharks. It's Lakers Warriors. This is a big battle. The Warriors have been, I think they've had only 2 losses with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry both in the lineup or something like that. The Warriors have been great ever since they brought in Jimmy Buckets. The Lakers also have been really good. Have been fantastic. They've gone up the West standings ever since they brought in Luka Doncic, and Luka and LeBron going up against Steph and Jimmy. And this is a big battle. And it gets going at 8 o'clock, so you can watch a good chunk of that first quarter. maybe get through the first quarter till the Oilers, and then when the intermission happens, you can get back to basketball. But that's the big one for me. You got Golden State Warriors, you got the LA Lakers at Crypto.com, I believe it's still called Arena, out in LA. That is the game. We're watching the Oilers game because we have to watch the Oilers game in Edmonton, right? And no one cares about the Sharks. We hope that game's over after the first period. We hope that the Oilers are up 5-0 after the first period. This is a true game of the night.
There's a lot of people that care about Sharks. There's probably a lot of people that study Sharks. I don't know what the technical term would be of somebody that is involved in the study of Sharks, but they care about Sharks. So you can't say, Matt, that nobody cares about Sharks.
In Edmonton.
That's just negligent on your end. I'd be looking at, Montreal's in a dogfight for that final wild card in the East. They're hosting Boston, which should be a victory for them. Be nice to get as many Canadian teams in the NHL playoffs as possible. And then I'm also looking out west. Anaheim is at Calgary. Now, St. Louis and Minnesota do not play tonight, and they are sitting in the final wild card spot, tied at 89 points. Calgary sits 7 points back. If Calgary can get a win tonight, and Calgary's got 2 games in hand, keep in mind. If they can get a win tonight, they're 5 points back. I'm not saying, hey, I'm cheering for Calgary. This is more of I just want to see an exciting finish to the season. Okay, so Calgary hosting Anaheim, that should be an interesting one. And also, at the BKT World Curling Championships, I watched a great match last night, and Switzerland's taking on Canada tonight in the late draw. So if you want to get your curling fix, like Mike the Michigan fan, go ahead and seek them out. You are listening to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk.
We got something to give away when we come back too.
We're gonna give away 2 tickets
to something.
Let
people know.
Yeah,
it's called a tease.
It's called a tease in the business.
Tease people.
I'm still learning the business. Coob, take us home.
Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch has confirmed that Stuart Skinner, Mattias Ekholm, and John Klingberg will not join the team during their current road trip, with the Oilers having 3 games in Cali. And tonight, the Oilers visit the Shark Tank. Kelvin Pickard gets a start. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas tee up the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show at 7:30, only on EST. 8 other games around the league. Right now, there's 3 games live. Shane Pinto scoring his 17th of the season to put Ottawa up 1-0 over Tampa Bay, while it's scoreless between the Bruins and Canadians, having both games at the end of 20. When the Avs and Jackets just faced off. In the association, Toronto plays Portland on a 6-game slate. 3 games underway, including Philly leading Milwaukee 39-35, and the Wizards trailing the Magic by 5 early in the second quarter. And at the World Men's Curling Championship, Canada draws for the second time today, beating China 8-2 earlier this morning, leading into their game against Switzerland. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. Iwanyk. I always say Iwanyk.
I know. You're the first person. You're one of the few people I've ever corrected actually with that.
Right. Are you?
Just let it be. I always just let it be.
Does it tick you off? No. Am I annoying you or am I being rude?
No. I just feel like you're the one that if I ever said
I think it's more emphatic.
You would be annoyed that you weren't saying it right. You yourself would be annoyed.
Oh, no, I say it because I think it adds a lot of emphasis.
Oh, then have at her.
On your name. Matthew Iwanyk. Right?
I'm good with it.
Sounds good. Folks, we can make a late push here. We can make a late
140.
push. We are only 15 away from double word of the day territory in which Matthew Iwanyk will be asking me the word of the day. The Oilers are in San Jose. You're going to have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show with Tom, Hernan, and Cass. That's going to be coming up right here on Edmonton Sports Talk at 7:30. The lines for the Oilers look to be staying very similar. You got Draisaitl in between Podkolzin and Arvidsson. The Nuge is in between Kapanen and Hyman. Janmark in between Skinner and Connor Brown, and Adam Henrique centering Max Jones and Corey Perry. On defense, the pairings are Wallman and Bouchard, Darnell Nurse with Troy Stetcher, and Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson, and Calvin Pickard will get the start. Go! Ooh. We've got to give away something.
We got 2 tickets to Edmonton Sports Talk's Bids for Kids in support of Kids Sport, presented by GS Construction. It's taking place Tuesday, April 8th. That's next Tuesday at the Bell in Scona, 6 to 9. It is an 18-plus event, just so you are aware. Dustin and Reid Wilkins will do a live show from the Bell in Scona.
Like a hot stove.
Yeah, with Trey and Terrell Ford of your Edmonton Elks. The two of them were on with the morning show boys earlier today, so if you missed that, go check that out because they were fantastic. They're going to be even better down at the Bell in Scona. Get your tickets now. Kidsportbidsforkids.com is where you can go, or you can go to edmontonsportstalk.com. We have the link at the very top. Get your tickets now if you'd like to get there. There's silent auction. There's 50-50. And then there's the appetizer buffet as well, which Tommy will gloat about and brave about.
I'm going to gloat about it. I'm going to see it in the flesh. So are you.
I haven't seen it. I haven't tried that. I wasn't able to go there last year, so now I really want to see what this is.
Yeah.
We also have a pair of tickets to give away right now. Kids Sport is celebrating a milestone year this year. In Edmonton? What year is that? Text it to 780.
Sorry, Matt. That was just a totally rude move by me.
Text it to 780-218-9999. That is the River Cree inbox. Text was here. It is. We'll go into a draw for those tickets. I'll be in touch to one of you to let you know that you have won those pair of tickets. We're at 150 likes.
Okay, 5 away, folks. 5 away. It can happen. It can happen. Matthew, final thoughts on this game tonight. I get the sense that you are just rolling along. You're just, casually going through the motions because it's not the playoffs yet. And
I've been doing that this entire season.
Yeah, that's
especially tonight.
Modus operandi for Matthew Iwanyk. This isn't the playoffs, so who gives a damn?
That's exactly it, and it's the San Jose Sharks. Yeah, Saturday's a little more important. Sure, you're still playing for playoffs, the home ice advantage. I get that one, There's a game later this season. Winnipeg, LA, back-to-back games. I'll be fascinated to see where they are in that hunt for the home playoff spot, whether those matter. But
But you look at the records.
Without players too.
LA's dropped 4 games in regulation at home. It is, it should be of some importance for the Oilers to try to get home ice advantage in round 1.
Win in 6. You need a Big Uke brought it up earlier in the nasty chat. Great point. You just need to take 1.
True.
You don't need to take 4. You don't need to take 2. You don't need to take 3 in LA. You need to take 1.
They've given up 4 in 41 games, or
8. They've given up
games.
8 because they've also lost in overtime.
Okay.
Or they have lost other games. In regulation, it's only been 4.
That's a fair point.
You just needed to get 1.
Okay.
That's it. So I'm not worried about home ice. Like, the Oilers are a good enough hockey team. Go win a series in 6 games. Go win a series in 5 games.
We need 2 more thumbs. That's one person. One person with 2 thumbs to hammer the thumbs, and we will get to bonus double word of the day territory. Maddie, are you ready for the word of the day?
I got the first one.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you
we're there.
speak it?
Attaboy, Coob helping us out with the
double word of the day today.
Personal private account. Thank you. Well done, Nasty.
I'll go with the first word, which I know how to say for sure. You ready, Jay?
Yes.
Mnemonic.
Pardon me?
Mnemonic. Coop thinks he knows that one. Mnemonic.
Mnemonic?
Yes. Would you like me to use it in a sentence? Oh, I guess you're just trying to spell it right now. I guess you could use it in a sentence while you're spelling it.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to PNEUMONIC.
No, it's not.
That's not right.
No.
Mnemonic?
Mnemonic.
Okay.
This is, and I will, to make sure I am pronouncing this all properly, because I don't want to be this is
mnemonic.
Mnemonic. I can't read that. Say it out loud, Zach. You have a microphone.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes. I have a microphone. I think this is the same way that Jay spelled it. PNEUMONIC.
MONIC.
No.
Yeah, that's not it.
MNEMONIC. There was no U, and it's a M start, not a P start.
Yeah, that got me.
I thought you guys were going to get that. Do you know what mnemonic means?
Crazy? Does it mean you're crazy?
The sentence. She used the mnemonic to remember the names of all the countries in the European Union.
Okay, so she has a heightened ability to remember. Does this have something to do with memory?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so a heightened sense of memory capabilities.
It's a tool or technique used to aid the memory.
Okay, so I was half right.
Oh, now you're going to pull a full me here?
Eric Tam in the nasty chat. I went to college with Eric Tam. I wonder if it's him. If it is you, give me another thumbs up.
To remember the order in the planets of the solar system, Tim used the mnemonic, my very educated mother just served us noodles. Mars, Venus, Earth, or Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. That's
word number 2
is. Sesquipedalian.
Come on.
Sesquipedalian. And I'm going to make sure I'm pronouncing this properly.
Sesquipedalian.
Oh, sesquipedalian. Sesquipedalian. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of time here.
It's the Sesqua. It's the Sesqua that is the Sesqua funny? Or is it phonetically correct?
I'm not telling you anything.
Well, help me out. Use it in a sentence.
The professor's sesquipedalian lecture left the students confused as they used long and complicated words throughout his speech.
What class were the students in?
Doesn't say.
Okay.
This is professor, though, so that's usually like post-secondary education.
Sesquipedalian. I don't know.
Sesquipedalian.
Is it more than one word?
No, it's one word.
So it's not like CEST? I don't know, Matt. I mean, I'm going to go SESKWAPADALIAN.
Go a little slower. SESKW.
KWAPADALIAN.
That's actually pretty close.
So it's wrong?
Yes. SESQUIPEDALIN.
Yeah, that's stupid of me. I shouldn't have missed that. Use it in a sentence again.
The professor's sesquipedalian lecture left the students confused as he used long and complicated words throughout his speech.
To be sesquipedalian, are you like? I'm thinking you would be on par with like what's that heightened state of learning or genius level? Does something to do with that? Like some sort of a genius?
In a way, I'll give you a point on that one.
Give me a point?
Yeah. It refers to a person who uses long, often obscure words, or to words that are usually long themselves. It can also describe a style of speaking or writing that involves using lengthy, complex words.
Wow.
So for a lengthy, complex word, they use the lengthy, complex word. Sesquipedalian.
Yeah, like that is so funny because that is one of the longest, weirdest words.
I thought you would have got mnemonic.
It wasn't my best showing today.
I didn't know whether that one was a word that many people would remember it or not, and I figured.
See, I've never seen Johnny mnemonic,
but I didn't think you would go P if you got it wrong. I thought you would maybe go with like K.
Like pneumonia, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
That has the P, so that's where it got me with the PNEU. So my bad. I didn't do great, but you know what? Reid doesn't do great all the time either. We're not perfect. We're not,
Well, mnemonic is a word, though. There's a pneumonic plague, which is a lung condition.
So maybe I am right.
Well, no, it wasn't the word I used.
Word. It's not. It is a different word, right? It's like there and there.
I can't take it anymore.
Notice him. I'll give it to you.
Yes.
You didn't get the spell. You didn't get the definition I was looking
That's
for. That's
okay. I'm
you got
racking
that one,
up points,
I'll give you
baby.
that
Racking up
I'll
points.
give you that one.
Coob,
nice.
Thank you.
I give
Thank you,
things.
Coob. With
Yesterday I
the
had a fight for my
yeah,
it's like there, and there, though.
This has been a great show. Thank you for holding my hand, and thank you for being here, Matthew Iwanyk. Coob, you were great behind the screen. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the Reid Wilkins Show, but tonight it's Oilers game night. The Oilers are in San Jose. Puck drop at 8:30. You can catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. That'll be starting at 7:30 with Tom, Hernan, and Matt Cassian. For Matthew Iwanyk, I'm Jay Milne. You have listened to the Reid Wilkins Show. Good night.